became the master. It's like Dobby. Chives is his master now.
Dude, when Diurd comes back, he's coming at it. He's gonna be like, what the fuck did you do? He's getting demoted, kicked out. Chives is stepping his feet into business that is not his.
You think he's coming back?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Diurd, he's gotta come back. It's like killing Wolverine. He's gonna come back.
He's killing Wolverine.
Yeah, it's like killing Wolverine. He's just come back. He's Wolverine.
That's great.
You can't kill Wolverine. You can't kill Diurd.
I'm not sure. I don't have to bring him back at all.
You should.
I'm the guy that's...
I think we all kind of
hate him more.
Yeah, but I hate Chives more than I hate Van Ditten.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Why?
Fuck Chives.
Because now we're being ordered around by a
Chives didn't
butler.
hunt vampires. What did he do?
Good thing we're not on.
Many
Good
times.
thing we're not on.
Van Ditten, he goes, oh, we're live technically. We're just not visually.
But our voices are
I
live.
know they're live.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, no, yeah.
You're gonna see Hive's gonna start bending over on his own. He's gonna be like, oh wait, I'm the master now.
Magician Chives.
It's gonna be like, sorry, old habits, my lord.
Yeah, all the habits.
Old habits, my lord.
Oh, here we go.
yes, here we are. Hello.
Hi.
We're back with
Hey
the
there.
League of Roses. Sitting before you and walking away is the White Rose.
Sitting before you.
A group of adventurers in Ravenloft who are banded together to conquer evil and all bad things. And tonight is an interesting is an interesting aspect of the group. So they're actually going back to meet with their boss,
Chives.
the guy that's Hives.
Well, now hang on. He's not our boss.
He is
Yes,
technically.
He was like the VP.
Yeah, but he's now the VP.
No, he was the butler. How does a butler tell that
Yeah, how did the butler get
He
the
inherited it
VP
because the other guy died.
Does
Bullshit.
Van Richten not have a son?
Maybe he is
child.
his son. That's
Or a
the twist.
cousin? Does he have a cousin?
Or like
Yeah, I mean, he's a
Or a
vampire.
nephew.
It's in his blood.
A brother?
What?
Does he have a brother, maybe?
No, he had a son.
Like Dan?
His son was turned over to the Vistani, who sold him.
What about a daughter?
Who sold him to a vampire.
You're good. Thank
The
you.
chili was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Does he have like a
chili was
grandson?
good.
Yeah, the chili was really good.
No grandson.
I had to
See,
stop
I'm
myself from
thinking
having
because
4 bowls.
channeling
Oh,
the family.
Hives.
Oh, there you go.
dice.
Hives is part of the family.
Hives?
He's,
Never asked. You have
Yeah,
no
it was
clue.
really
Hives, how old are you?
How young does he look? I think he was an old man.
He looks old.
Yeah, how is
I
it
feel
the
better on
grandson?
this
So
night.
is Ed.
Maybe he's like,
Yeah.
maybe he's just like fucking Alfred.
Rose butter.
Maybe he's like Alfred to
Ed looks old, right?
Batman.
Ends 83.
He's
84.
like Hives is like the Alfred to Van Richten's Batman.
Very erratic, very
You know?
out of control.
I feel like it's
Alfred?
very us.
It is very us. Okay, so around the table we have our.
That's why we have
characters
so
up.
many fans.
We will meet our players.
We're here beating the ice.
Beating the ice.
And we'll ask them a question to give some idea about the player and character themselves.
This is a nightmare.
Never mind.
What the hell?
What are you doing?
She said to get her ice, and it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like the best
Great
ice,
timing.
but it's in a bag, so it's the worst ice. It's just little bitty.
Great timing.
It's
So,
just getting everywhere,
can
man.
you do it quiet enough so we can start? And
Oh no, this is good content for the
Yeah,
stream.
no, I love
That's
it.
what you get. I did my
This
I
is
love
the
it.
icebreaker.
Oh, Sal's, yeah, Mr. Setup.
That was awful.
Very good.
I'm the
All
bard
right,
after
we'll
all.
start on this end.
What?
Woo,
No,
yeah.
I'm here.
Hell yeah.
I'm
My
here.
name is Michael, and I'm playing the character
My
Randolph the
name's
Pale.
Michael. I'm playing the Randolph the Pale.
Randolph the Pale
What
is
a
a
twist.
wild mage, which basically means that he's kind of like your regular wizard, except sometimes when he casts spells, something can go wrong. That could be such as trying to cast like a magic missile spell, and suddenly your sex changes and you turns into a girl. Or it could be something like switching
I've never
personalities.
seen that happen yet.
What a twist.
Or it could
Yet
be
to
anything
see that.
else. Yeah, we have yet to see that, but we could. Let's see. Other than that, what's the question of the day?
So the question is what, and it went away from me, when and why did your PC last cry in front of another person or by themselves?
I know my character did cry at one time. I think he cried when his booth. When he bought like a super expensive like booze using thousands of gold, and it was given to monks.
I
And the
remember
monks
that.
didn't give it back to him, but he gave a little bit of it. The guy
So
just
that made
kept
him
it.
cry
Yeah.
because he spent all the money on
Yeah.
that. Yes, that was in the very beginning
Yeah,
when he was young.
yeah,
Yeah, when he was new to the group. That was his first adventure.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Okay, up next.
Hi, my name's Dick or Richard. You know, we can be interchangeably. And you know it could. I play the character Grutz, who's an orc wizard.
Your whole life.
I'm called Dick.
By him.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable. Okay.
And I play a character called Grutz, who's a wizard who can swing, smash, and destroy things with magic, or his hands. Mostly his hands. He's yet to use a single spell yet, but he will when the time comes. And so moving along to the question.
So the question, when and why did Grutz ever cry in front of him?
So Grutz has once died when he tried to pet a dog, but he pet it too hard.
And he cried?
Yeah.
This sounds like a
It sounds like you have emotional damage or something.
It sounds like Grutz can't touch anything.
I swear everything.
He's
that Grutz-
Lenny from
like,
Mouse and Men.
Yeah, last week it was
Mice
about
and Men.
babies, like daycare.
So he was a bad.
Yeah, just don't let Grutz touch kids or animals.
Oh, you're so pretty.
I'm sure. Wow. Yeah.
Everything a touch does.
Keep everything small away from Grutz, right?
Mhm.
All right. Next up we have.
I'm Salvatore. I play the bard Epion. And the last time that he cried in front of somebody was, you may have not seen it on camera, but it was just a few tears he had when he used his inspiration die to roll really high, and that hot girl at the church still did nothing.
Oh, that's too bad.
He was sad.
He was denied.
The pain of rejection.
Well, you know,
He was sad.
get used to it.
No.
Now, you didn't describe Epion. You really have not much described him. Can you go a little more into the description? Is he? How tall is he?
He's about 5'8".
Okay, he's
Yeah.
normal size.
Yeah, he's pretty average sized
Right.
for a guy, yeah. I think I played before. You know, he dresses very colorfully, very fancifully.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we had music on.
Oh, hey.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
illegal? Sorry about that.
Sorry for your copyright claim.
We were talking
joking.
over it. You can
Yeah.
Should have been playing music by me, the bard.
Or-
I need to make like a soundtrack.
yeah, you do.
That'd be funny. I should do that. That'd
You
be
can
fun.
rap.
What if you just have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
The
fun. I
bard
should,
rap.
I'll have to
The
make
bard
something.
rap.
He does some sex pornos. 70s,
Yeah, no, I'll have to like
for a while.
actually legitimately make something as background music. That'd be in character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's.
So he's slight of build, right?
Yeah, he's like average to thin. Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely
Is he
not
clean
large.
shaven, or is he?
it depends on the day. You know, sometimes he's
Okay.
got a beard, sometimes he shaves it
Alright.
off. It depends on the
Who does he
feeling.
look like?
Who's he look like?
Is there anybody famous that you would say he looks like?
He's
What's
been
his-
compared.
What's his charisma?
His
Probably
charisma's
pretty
really
high.
high. Yeah. 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Jim
gosh.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Scary.
He's been compared to many celebrities. He's well known.
Not at the
But they look like him. He doesn't look like them.
Loved your Sonic performance.
Did you see the thing in the Chippendale movie?
Picturing like Shakespeare.
That's great.
Shit, no, he
Who
doesn't
does?
look like
Oh
Shakespeare.
yeah.
You look like Shakespeare?
Shakespeare
What?
isn't a
What?
sexy
Your
guy.
character looks like
Shakespeare looks
Yeah,
like
Yeah, do you know what he looks like, sir?
Yeah, he's
But, like
not a compliment.
You said it said like
No.
Yeah, that's not
Why
a
did he-
compliment.
yeah.
Just call him the fucking
Well,
Greek.
it depends on
poet.
his charisma, right?
Sorry,
So,
William.
I thought W's charisma.
I
was
mean,
not.
No,
You could
W-
traditionally
no,
call him like a
W-
Fides or
W-
something.
Charisma.
Wait, are you saying W looks like
No,
William
W
Shakespeare?
Like
looks
Elon
like
Musk.
this.
Right. Yeah,
W looks like
he got
this.
pretty boys.
Oh, he doesn't look like that.
He's
Yeah.
a pretty boy.
He doesn't look like that anymore. He's as average
Well,
as
why
they
don't
come.
we roll over
Yeah.
to
Called
this?
rather
We learned
handsome.
His last crybaby was.
Okay.
song.
No, it
I'm
was-
Sarah.
It
I
was
play
for
two
my
characters.
inspiration dice.
I play the first one is N. He's the 84-year-old human paladin for the Church of Ezra. He looks like The Witcher, but like an old version of The Witcher.
The Witcher, but older.
The last time he cried, I'm gonna say it's when he's making his oath to his god.
I cry to
He's
God.
probably doing a lot
Every
of-
night.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
That's part of the
Yeah.
ritual. The tears
Because
every
Yeah.
night.
They like whip them with chains.
Yeah.
Hooks and thorns.
Very
Flagellate
holy.
themselves.
You know, yeah, they do.
He has to go through a tough
Jeez.
regime.
Yeah.
Get the
And
chain.
then-
I hate myself. I hate
My
myself.
second
Yeah.
character.
I'm sinned. I am sinned.
My second character is W. He's N's younger brother. He is 25 years old and he's a human witch who deals more with the spirits. And then his the last time he cried was during the Halloween day when his hair and eye color changed colors.
Oh, what?
When he became a
Yeah.
basic
What
fish.
He was sad.
What a wuss.
That little
Yeah.
wuss.
The day he became a basic fish was the day.
Yeah,
he
he's like,
died.
I'm so basic.
I lost my purple hair.
My purple hair, no.
He's like,
My
emo senses are
heterochromatic
tingling.
eyes.
Now, what's his hair color now?
It's brown.
Brown.
And he has blue eyes.
How boring.
And his eyes are what?
Blue.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
What are you saying? That a
No,
brown
they
haired,
were
blue eyed
red.
person is cool?
They were red.
That sounds like weird.
Purple and red
He's a witch.
doesn't really
He's a
know.
witch.
That sounds like an.
Well, you know, Halloween's just 6 months away, so
Woo.
you never know.
Yeah, man.
Maybe he'll be a girl.
Could, yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's
oh,
19 charisma. He's gonna look very good.
He's 19.
Yeah, he's 19.
Wow. How do you get that?
When you turn,
4.
when you
You
level
can
up,
get
you
plus
can.
2
Oh,
to
you add to
oh,
your
you
ability
just
score.
did it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Oh.
to a max of 20. But that's because it kind of changed. In 2e, 8 was considered average. In 5e, 10 is considered average.
Oh, I didn't.
So now that Grutz is all 8s in his lower stats, he's kind of stupid
He's
in
below
terms
average.
of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Well,
So
that's just
you're
a little
playing him
below.
Very well.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. I didn't realize all that. So that's good. Okay, and finally we have.
Hi, I'm Mike. I play Jiminy Carlyle. He is a 2'4", 200-pound halfling hunter. He now has 20 dexterity.
Yeah, it's
He's a human brain. He's the bouncy
think-
ball.
just not
That's the
possible.
only reason why he could function.
Just-
He's
He's the bouncy ball.
I'm just trying to picture him going.
like a fucking balloon.
I did look up Kirby.
He just goes like,
And I did see something that looks more like him. One of these Kirby's was.
Oh, when he drinks out of the water.
Well, there was one.
Which Kirby
I
is
don't know
it?
why they don't come up with. Oh, hold on here. Let me do Kirby, but fat. and I think that's when. Yeah, there we go. There's the one that
you just gotta give him a bow and
You're
some
worse
mud.
than a
You,
fucking
know?
dinosaur.
You gotta put some chicken legs on him.
You have to zoom in.
I told you, it looks like Kirby.
Pretty much, yeah, you're right.
He's
Well,
a 2'4".
I think I modified Kirby, so I agree with that.
Modified Kirby.
How are you gonna grab anything?
Yeah, I think this
It
is.
just kind of moves around, you know. The
think
world
that's-
is his oyster, you know.
That's very reputable.
You're gonna become so big, you're gonna have your own gravitational
This
pull.
one was another good one that I saw. I thought this
Oh
one was
my
good.
god.
So it's basically kind of shows a head
Yeah.
with some. I think those are his hands. Up
Yeah,
there.
those are his hands.
Okay, so
That's
that
pretty
looks good,
accurate.
too. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty accurate.
That's like Chavo.
Love it.
And yet you have a 19 dexterity.
20.
So, 20?
20.
Oh, did you up that?
Yeah, he is very
Okay.
dexterous.
All right.
Oh yeah.
He just
He
wanted
is
to say he's the
incredible,
most
you know,
limber
none of
man
this
on the
is
planet.
That's why it's
This is a world of magic.
He could do
Right.
a split and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, get over it.
They got the attitude along
No,
with it.
he's
Okay,
actually doing a
so-
split at all times to show off.
Why did Jiminy last cry in front of another person or by himself? What was
Well,
it?
the last time was probably when he was a baby, because he doesn't cry. He's a fucking real man. He's Jiminy Carlyle. He's had hair on his chest and balls since day 2 of life. Okay,
All right, that will accept
he's a
that.
man.
He cried
Wait,
at birth because
wait.
he was
He of
born.
all people to me.
How much did he weigh at birth?
I think he was normal.
30 pounds.
Yeah, he had to be.
Yeah, yeah.
At one point in his life, he was the average
At
weight.
one point he
Oh, I
was
see.
normal.
And then the Fire Nation.
What depressing event happened in your life that caused that disaster?
I think he told us about it.
Delgado.
He got
It's
it.
Delgado.
He got
The
it.
Delgado was a downfall,
What
really.
is the Delgado?
Delgado is a shape-shifting Nevermore from the bog.
A what of the Bob? Bob?
A shape-shifting Nevermore from the bog.
Nevermore?
What's a
It's his
Nevermore?
made-up villain.
From the bog.
It's his
made
made-up
up.
bad
It's not
guy.
real.
You made that up?
He's a shape-shifting Nevermore.
All right.
That
From the
could be-
bog.
That could be one of the bosses.
From the
these
bog.
days.
It can
Yeah.
take it can take the form of whatever it
Let
pleases.
me capture that somehow.
So then it could become a vampire. It could become a giant
Strahd is
serpent.
actually Delgado.
Yeah, Delgado could be
Yeah,
Strahd.
you know,
really.
no.
Spelled backwards.
Delgado could
Strahd
be any one of them.
Strahd,
Yeah.
Delgado could be
Oh, yeah,
Strahd,
yeah,
Strahd could be Delgado.
Delgados.
Yeah,
Strahd-
Strahd can transform. I
Strahd
believe.
just like moves
He's
his
like a
face, and
vampire.
next you know he has a mustache.
Delgado's
Me.
from a faraway
He's
distant
being
dimension.
Delgado the whole time.
I like that.
Delgado originates from a faraway
No,
distant
he's gonna.
dimension.
We're
That's
gonna
why it's
pull
called
a.
Nevermore.
We're gonna pull a mask off the dragon, you know, like Scooby Doo, and it's gonna be like, it was Delgado.
Yeah, it was Jiminy Carlyle the whole time.
Jiminy Carlyle.
I would have got away with it too if
Carlyle's
it wasn't for
really-
you.
It's possible. I mean,
You and your
it's-
meddling owl.
It's possible you're traveling with a Delgado. Maybe you're Delgado. Maybe you're Delgado. Maybe you.
Yeah.
No.
You can't
Delgado wouldn't take the form of
Can't
that.
smell that. Sniff them out. Jiminy can't sniff them out.
Oh, he can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like the Woodworthians, because they've allied themselves with Delgado.
Oh, they're allied.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're
we've
allied
really
with
gotten
the,
full
with the
story.
terrible terror Delgado.
We have the lore of Jiminy Carlyle.
Yeah, we're getting a
here.
bit more background on this.
Yeah.
It's very deep.
So what did happen
Deep
to
as his
make
fat
it
folds.
so wide and so big? Is there an
Depression.
I mean,
Or is it just
here
happened
and there, you know.
nobody-
Just
nobody-
here and there, you know.
Depression.
This and that, you know.
Is it a curse?
He's a halfling. They eat, you know.
Too many Reese's.
I don't think
You know?
I don't
Comes
think
in
Frodo.
bites, you know?
I don't think Frodo
Frodo.
was like, I can't run anymore, Sam.
fat hobbitses. You know.
No, but he can run like crazy. He's got good
I
dexterity.
guess.
You should have just eaten a little bit of
Your
the
best
elven
friends
language
are
bread,
Frodo
ate
and
the whole
Sam.
fucking thing, you know?
He outran them. That's why they're not
Delgado
here.
gave him a Reese's
He
cup
ate them.
every
That's
day.
why he's so big.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know, you know.
With candy.
With candy.
It's just here and there, you know. Sometimes you
you,
dieting one day and the next you're
Yeah.
just pounding a
Did
fucking
chi-
ice
did
cream.
Did Chimney go in the ice cream
from
truck?
having 10 chicken legs that you ate on, but mostly only one, and you changed that to what did you change it to?
An
You're
omelette.
holding 6.
Oh, you
I
just
threw
yeah, you gave him
two.
something different.
It was a peacock.
Peacock.
Oh, yeah,
leg.
yeah, yeah.
Alright, okay.
I got a
So
peacock.
you have a peacock.
I don't think he
Delicious.
changed it. He just got another one.
Exotic
He
meats.
wants-
No, he exchanged it.
Yeah,
was
in
an
exchange.
exchange.
Oh, you did? Okay, I thought he
Yeah.
just gave it.
You
to
got
you.
Well,
exotic
you know, the
meat.
chicken could, if Hives does it right, the chicken could go to the poor if he portions it out correctly. Because the chicken
Chives,
is an
help the
everlasting
poor
chicken.
How
It just
fast
comes
does it
back.
grow back though?
I mean, you know, the speed of sound. I don't
Were
know.
they all
That's
10
pretty
everlasting
fast.
chicken legs?
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
they were
would
all
you keep
everlasting.
them then? That's rude.
That's fucked
That's
up.
terrible. It's, yeah,
Have you
it's
seen
selfish.
Jiminy Carlyle? You've been here for the year he's been around, dude.
Keeping it.
He's
all
the
right.
embodiment of selfish.
You are. You are.
That's how he's
He's
so big.
basically the,
Number one.
he
That's why he's so big. Exactly.
Yeah.
he doesn't just embrace gluttony. He probably is gluttony.
Yeah, he embodies the demon of gluttony.
Yeah.
All right. So the White Rose has had some interesting nights the last few nights. You guys were hunted in Philfont.
Oh, yeah.
with-
I mean, Jiminy was hunting back. You know, he got the eagle or the hawk or
You
whatever.
got one thing.
Yeah, and I didn't get experience for that. That's bullshit. I want at least
love
10
it.
experience points.
You leveled up.
I want 10 experience points.
At
They
least
don't do
10.
that.
I want
They don't
10.
assign it. They give it a
You
number.
can't just tell
like
me I got 10 experience
You got
points.
like one.
No, I got 10.
No, you got one.
That's 10.
One.
No, because it was like a demon one, because it was under the influence of the demon guy.
No, the bird wasn't. The bird
One
died.
plus nine.
The bird was just a
One
bird.
plus 9.
Died. No.
Yeah, but he was pissed when it was like his it was like his fucking.
All you do is argue.
It's
All
like his
right,
assistant,
so-
you know.
So,
Okay.
so we have you guys now coming to back to Mordenshire, where you were formed
Okay,
as
you
a
okay with
team. The League of Roses is centered in Mordenshire, and under Van Richten's helm, he has
Well, when you
assigned
figure when you
some
get something
10
new,
colored
let me-
roses
let me know.
to go out through Ravenloft
I'm
and to
good.
delete the evils of the area. The last time you were here was probably about a year ago, after you saved Van Richten, or you thought you did, from some demons up in a town called Chateau Faux. This is before Epion.
Oh yes. Speaking of which, Diurd says hello to everyone.
Well,
You know,
I heard
why
that. We
doesn't-
should have said
No,
that
she
before.
just called
Why
me.
doesn't the League of Roses have like a cool insignia or something? Like maybe like give everyone like a ring or like tattoos.
Yeah.
Because that would mark you as.
I want one on my
and
ass.
You would
No,
you
you
will-
put it somewhere
I
you
want one on my
can't
ass.
Something like that, you can do that yourself. But
Well, you guys did. You guys got roses on your
find. Yeah,
clothes,
we got
remember?
clothes.
Well,
You got embroidered.
Yeah, I have a white
Yeah.
rose on
Yeah.
my cape.
Yeah, you guys
Watch
got
has on
embroidered
the
on.
little cuff of his
so
little
you kinda have
sexy
it.
outfit
Except
that he's
for
still
Jimmy,
wearing.
he's got
We have a
a
uniform.
pheasant leg or
Well, he's got
whatever.
assless chaps right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Are you still wearing the assless chaps?
Always, baby.
It's all far as ass. All right, so.
Wait, like where do the?
So
How
if
long
you're
are the
hunting
chaps
foxes-
even? Are they like?
Doesn't
They're
matter.
like this.
Is it like a
Don't
little,
question the jabs.
like a 2-inch
There's no
skirt?
physics to,
Yeah.
to Jimmy.
I know, but it's interesting. It's fun to theorize.
He's
He
like
defies the
clever.
laws of
There's nothing
inertia.
scientific about
Is he
it.
like
I mean,
a
for all you
seal?
know, he's a cursed being. What if he got cursed to be this way? You know, you don't know that. What if Delgado cursed him?
Could be.
Delgado, because Delgado is
I don't
an
know
ever-changing
anything about
Nevermore.
Delgado, So you're right.
No, Delgado's an ever-changing Nevermore with powers beyond your capability of understanding. He's killed Delgado 30 times, but Delgado is because of its
Yeah.
Nevermore nature,
Yeah.
it can't actually die. Delgado comes back.
You know,
Like Wolverine.
so let
Doesn't
me
mean
do this.
Delgado's pretty
Let me
weak.
do this. Let me have you write it all out, and then one night you can introduce
It's all up here,
us
baby.
all.
I don't need to write it out. I got it all. I got it all.
Yeah, he's been talking about it
Sometimes
forever.
So that you could, yeah. explain it all. And in fact, most of you have a backstory that we would want to hear, so that would be good for everybody, really, in a way. Right? So we could learn a lot more about you, and it would help you to explore your own character. So, all right, so you've gone through several adventures since Van Richten's death, including dealing with Azenrath, which was a big, huge tree, which you didn't even have to fight. And you went to Lakar, where you dealt with a guy named Lenka Girardin, who was the captain of the guard, and you broke into the Wizard's Tower of Oban.
Yeah, that's a different one.
You were hoping to find the Sun Sword, but it was not there.
Oh.
And then you went from there to Vorosakov, and finally you ended up in Felfot, coming back, where you...
Oh, we forgot about Evan Bane.
Evan Bane, yeah, that's the show.
I know that one.
That one is where Epion and Diurd, who's not with us tonight, so everybody wave, say hi to Diurd. So you guys were joining the group. Now, the only person that's really left, there's two left from Chateau Faux when Van Richten, who met Van Richten, and that's Randolph and Anne. And Anne is not with the group who's, as you explained, is on sabbatical. So you've been sent a note from Hives asking you to return. So the group showed up at the door minus Randolph. And
it's okay,
the only
I
one
fetched
that,
him.
Hives knew didn't show up. So he asked you to go get him, because otherwise you could be God knows who showing up at the door.
Yeah, but we have embroidery. We're official.
You have embroidered roses, yeah, which you neglect to
haven't
sort of
even
show
signed
off.
the contract.
Yeah, we haven't signed the contract.
We all need to come up with a
That's all under
pose
the table.
system.
So
What
Like the
system?
Guinea
Randolph
Force.
is
Oh,
showed
yes.
up.
Yep.
So
In a bath towel.
now all the
like that
gangs
idea.
here, so to speak. And
Do
so
the great Sandman
Hives
pose.
says, all right,
Let's get down to business.
we've got
Oh,
some
yeah,
business
it's like
to
JoJo's
conduct,
Bizarre
we've got some
Adventure.
information, and we've got some things to talk about.
That's right.
So he says, let us go into the dining room, and he asks you all to sit around the big table. Now already on the table are things like fruits
Gross.
Ooh.
and salad and roast.
Ew.
Are there?
Jimmy Carlyle.
Jimmy
Blueberry.
Carlyle.
Fruit and salad.
I thought you ate anything.
Not fruit and salad.
All right, well, don't eat it.
Hey, he
Unless
has
it's
a
covered in chocolate.
he has
I'll
a
eat that.
steady diet of moldy chicken leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's poo-poos.
He's on an all
Well,
protein
okay,
diet.
no, now you keep keep going. You know, because I needed to
There's
figure out
things
where.
like bites of wolf. And,
Okay, he's
you
got
know,
to sit near that at
and
least.
spider tentacles.
Cheese.
No, he doesn't want that.
Stuff
Ooh.
like
Gross.
and
He's
popcorn
flicking that.
and
He's
things
flicking
like
that at
Popcorn,
Randolph.
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
popcorn.
I like
Regular
popcorn.
Oh, he's eating the popcorn
It's a
too.
new adventure.
He took the whole bowl actually. He's got the whole
So
bowl.
he says, begin to eat. Will be served a
Oh.
full course meal.
Yes.
I
Okay.
want to celebrate you return here, he says.
Oh hell yeah.
I don't get to see you very often. Of all the roses, you are the one that shows up the least. You seem to go off and go on extended
Yes.
tours.
Yeah.
God wills it.
I didn't. Yeah, God wills it.
What?
Okay. Oh, come so far, dude.
I think it's too far away from
He's
the
eating
table.
food.
No, he's eating food.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said it's because we're doing all your fucking jobs for you, dude.
How nice. What a good... I know this is going to be a very antagonistic...
Hell yeah.
Very
Oh,
tense,
dude, no,
very
Chives-
stressful.
Chives
If you don't
cannot-
watch out, if you don't watch out, you may not benefit from your visit.
I've already
Grutz-
got, I got an everlasting
Grutz
peacock
is
leg.
the manager of the
Yeah.
group.
A manager.
The manager. Oh.
Brian Epstein
Yeah.
Beatles.
While they're
Okay.
doing that, I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna try to get a bottle.
Oh, dear
I'm gonna
God.
be downing a bottle of wine.
He's just going to say, you will be served. Don't worry.
W.
Oh, Jimmy's gonna be down with some wine too, man.
Look, Hives.
We're not even
Ignore
gonna
them.
I'm just gonna word out.
Well, if there's
Hives,
one.
You know
what do
them.
eat?
How do you lead this group?
With fists.
Okay, that makes sense. All
He's
right.
too big. He walks in a direction and he just puts a rope around us and drags us in it.
So he says, first of all, I
We
want to
can't
talk
get
to
anywhere.
you, and and as you eat and dine, you can ask for wine, you can ask for Michelbrau if
Cookies.
you prefer that. You can ask for cookies. We'll get you some cookies, one or two. They're not good for your waistline. So he's only going to give you one or two. So he says, all right, so there are a lot of things to cover with you. And first of all, he says, I want to commend W for your communications and filling me in on what you did. But he does say,
Grutz did good job making
I
him
would
communicator.
like to hear how you all joined up, what happened to Roddy, and what happened to the tiger, and
The
what
tiger?
happened to Edward. There was a tiger that was in the group. And
News
his
to
name
me.
was Gazpacho, so he wants to know
Gazpacho.
what happened to the players who were no longer here.
Died.
And so he listens to your well, of course, but
He
he
did.
wants to hear about
He
what
did.
happened because he wants to gather details from you. And he's asking detailed questions, like he'll say, when you were staying in one of the places that you were staying in, can you describe like the rooms and what you paid for and stuff? And he's writing things because he wants to know. Like he'll tell you, I want to know.
So now we're telling the truth about killing the werewolf.
Grutz
What-
can tell you the holes Grutz
I
made
want
in
to
the
know
home.
what you're paying out of your pocket and stuff like that because there's a certain amount of cost to what you're doing.
Well, I actually.
And then, and I know you're incurring that cost, but, I know that you also have gain when you're out there. So I want to try to make sure you're being compensated correctly and you're getting the acclaim and you're getting the attention that you need. And he's asked you, when you're out, does anybody recognize your title as a member of the White Rose? And if not, he's jotting down like where that is and such because he wants to, that's for his information. So how he's infiltrating. So he's gaining more
Advertisement.
detail.
He's planning the marketing
They don't
campaign.
know him?
Marketing,
They don't know them?
exactly.
Advertise there.
Exactly.
Phil
So-
Fott loves us.
So he says, so there's a couple of things to address. He says, but the very first thing I'm sure on your mind is the question of the Aqua Rose taking your acclaim for the beheading and killing of a Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Gregor Zolnik
Yeah.
of Vorostakov.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says that didn't happen.
What?
Okay? It didn't happen.
What?
It did not happen. They did not lay claim. They brought me the head of the of Gregor. They also brought me the head of Alexei, who turns out is his son.
Mm-hmm.
My misunderstanding. They killed Alexei. You
Yep.
did not kill Alexei.
I mean, Alexei wasn't
They-
even the Dark
they-
Lord at the
They
time.
said that Gregor was dead. They did not know how. We did not know how. When W sent his explanation, it made sense.
Grutz did it.
They did also verify. You did.
Grutz held him down. Grutz beat him
The
up.
question I have, he says, is why didn't you kill him? Why didn't you behead him? If you have a vampire you kill or a werewolf or anything like that, behead the beast and burn it. Just completely destroy it. Don't leave it there. You never know what can happen. That's all I'm
Grutz is used to petting the dogs. Grutz is not used to burning.
Well, you should have pet that werewolf in the same manner that you play with kids.
Yeah.
Just pet it with a fireball.
Just whack it. Yes,
Yes.
that's my only concern.
Grutz
So-
held it down and beat it.
So, I did not send that note by the way, to anyone but you. Because also, I knew if it irritated you, and I know your group, if you would help you to come back, it would motivate you to come back to right the wrong. So there's no wrong to correct, and I will in fact be publishing a notification to everyone to let them know that you are now the only team that has killed a Dark Lord.
Yeah!
That you are the team that is in the first position now in terms of level.
Yeah!
And that you are the team to aspire to be, although I don't agree, like the Master did, with all of your tactics. I think you're crude.
Grutz just heard Van Virgin agreed with our tactics.
Sounds like somebody's sad he didn't get to see the strip show.
Is a question, because I don't see and talk to you much. The Master thought you all were very good.
Yes!
Excuse me, how many Dark Lords did you kill?
None.
Maybe our tactics is what works.
It's not. It's not.
That's what I thought. Hey, we're,
But you do come back.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
yeah.
Well,
Not of the original cast, though.
Huh?
I don't think we
Not
come
everybody.
back.
Not of the original cast.
Well, that's part of, I think, why you're so. That's part of your situation.
That's part of our
That's
charm.
something you need to do. That's part of your charm.
Yeah.
So as you're eating, he says,
Our turnover is
there
part
any
of our
question-
charm.
Any more questions about that? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
I kind of used it against you. I'm going to give them credit for killing.
They did
the
kill Alexei.
Grutz is happy now.
They said Alexei his body was dead. His Mikhail was dead. The two sons. So he says, my only concern is make sure you dispose of these things that you kill. Okay, do it in a methodical and a respectful manner.
Grutz will dump
but
in
make
lake.
sure they're dead.
Define respect.
Grutz will dump in lake.
Simply behead them and burn them. Don't pee on them.
Does dumping on lake
Spit
work?
on them. You don't need to do that because that only attracts the attention of dark powers. And believe me, Jiminy, he says to you, you have already attracted the attention of dark powers.
Now, one last thing.
What are the dark
One
powers?
last thing.
I said somebody peeing on my friend.
You don't need to do that.
What if
You
I
don't-
ate
He does
them?
it every time.
My pee sense is
What if I
tingling.
ate them? You just got rid of the body
Pisses on them
completely.
and
If you
spits.
ate them,
Yeah, I ate it.
I wouldn't recommend it because you never know what can happen. That's up to you. If you feel that it's
Grutz recommend good
something
seasoning.
that's important for you to
Eating the
gain,
Dark Lord.
but
Grutz recommend good
it
seasoning
could have severe repercussions.
and benefits.
Yeah, you might gain their power.
Make sure you understand what you're doing.
Dagger, Jiminy Carlyle.
That's terrifying.
Known as the
You know
blob.
what, there is
Dark
a
Lord.
The
There's
dark
a job
lard.
opening, so
Yeah.
it could be that they'll accept you if you don't watch out.
But we need to watch out. Delgado might be a 9. You never know.
It could be.
I'm so curious what's going on with the guy who possessed you.
We'll find out what the.
Oh, yeah,
this
behind
is
his
The
head.
little thing in your head.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that still there?
We haven't
He
heard from
can't
that
say
in a
it.
while.
I actually haven't heard from him in a while.
That's right.
Hello?
That's right. All right. He says, okay. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is he says, in Chateau Faux, when you went to help the master, he says, I know some of you were not there, but in my place used to be Master Van Richten, who built these things. He went and traveled north to visit a friend. It turned out that friend was not a friend; was taken over by a demon. So this group went forward. The White Rose went forward, went into the town, and unfortunately left, as is typical of the White Rose, by burning down the neighbor's manor, burning up almost a quarter of the town itself.
Yeah.
And
Seeing a
leaving
trend
it
here.
penniless. Somehow the Chateau Faux is under the burden of, and they are right now struggling heavily because they had no treasury and none of their wealth was found in the burn. Normally what happens to the gold and money
I think that was the doppelganger.
is,
I thought you took it.
Yeah, in the doppelganger city.
Oh
don't
no,
know
we
that
did
happened.
rob. We
No.
did no.
We
We did
robbed
rob
Chateau
the.
Oh, yeah, we
rob
did. We
Chateau
robbed the
Faux.
mayor's
Well,
house.
Grutz didn't rob it. Grutz wasn't there.
that's correct.
Grutz doesn't
So-
know.
You're like,
Yeah,
we
I
did,
do.
but me didn't.
I'm gonna say that the demon is pretty wicked, right? Stealing all that gold.
Yeah, goddamn.
He's looking, he's like, well, it's very questionable.
Melting.
Normally when you have that much coinage and bullion, you cannot move it.
Did you ever figure out with who was it? Morgan?
Oh, the Morgan was
with
trapped in the crystal. We
yeah,
gave
the
her it.
crystal that
And
we
the
gave
hand.
you.
You didn't
And the
give me-
hand.
You didn't give me. We'll get to the hand. You did not give me the crystal. You
Oh.
got the crystal.
Yeah, someone kept the
Well,
crystal.
Grutz. Well,
It's
Who?
gone.
Who had
Edward.
I think
Who-
Roddy had the crystal.
Edward had the crystal.
Roddy didn't have the crystal.
Edward had the
No,
crystal.
Edward had it. but
Edward
did-
had the crystal.
Did, yeah, but did we ever get
Oh, Lizzie
Edward's
had it in
back?
her bag.
No. But she died before that.
Yeah.
She became a
I think
werewolf.
Edward had it.
Yeah.
Edward
Edward
I
had
don't think
it.
we ever got the
Well, we
bag.
never
think
got
we-
a chance to get Edward's body.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mist took
Yeah.
us before we can get it back.
Yeah.
So yes, that's one of your comrades, which you told me about. So, but Chateau Faux, yeah, the reason I'm going back to Chateau Faux is because they are very much struggling. The damage done to Chateau Faux, White Rose.
That's,
So we're compensating.
that's-
We're
no,
trying
that's
to give them
demons.
money. And Lacar, also damage to Lacar when the Colossus pulled away from the,
It doesn't
the
sound like-
gate. It broke all the gate down.
Yeah, but that's not the White Rose fault. That's the Colossus.
that's a
On a
Colossus.
technicality, that's the captain of the guard's
Yeah,
fault.
that's their
So-
fault.
And
So
whoever
I'm
hired
just
us to do the job.
I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm just updating you. So Lacar is under. It's geographically, it's one of the most important merchant cities for the domain, and especially the upper west and western part. And because of the problems they're having an infiltration of zombies. So there's problems in the domain.
Oh, you know what? I remember hearing about a plague kicking up in the,
Yeah, there's
the car.
plague.
Yeah, there was like a lot of rats, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems. So,
Dude.
you know,
Awesome.
what we're trying to do is I have to try to work with these city officials and make sure that anything that we gain from our advantages is also sent to help the cities that we help as well. You're not the only ones. A lot of the Roses have a great difficulty handling fire. Let's just put it that way. And, seems to engulf
Great.
a lot of areas. But I've come full circle because so he kind of you see his hands move, and as he moves his hands around in front of you, comes an orb.
Oh,
And
Yes,
in
the
orb
hand.
is the hand with it's a finger.
What's had?
He says, so I have been working on this finger, trying to figure out what's going on. This finger was brought, yes,
By Edward.
Rolling it.
no. So the finger was brought back in a globe, in a
Santa ice
brand,
snow.
in a floor globe.
Of ice that
by,
never melts.
It
Edward.
was brought by Edward.
Yep.
He wanted to keep it, but we opened it up, and inside was a bunch of snow, pure snow, and inside, in the middle of all that snow, was this globe with a finger in it. And he says, so we broke it open, and we looked at the finger, and he says, I've determined that the finger is, in the globe, is Mito Kangmi, or a man-bear finger.
Bear!
Yes. So the creature is described as a giant ape-like creature that dwells deep in the snowy wasteland of the highest mountains. It walks on 2 legs, has a primate face and small ears, a flat nose, and long fangs.
So the abominable thing.
Shaggy
Yes, it's a
fur,
Yeti.
Yeah.
Range from reddish brown to white in color. It covers its body. It has enormous footprints resembling bare human feet.
there you go.
He says, Meto Kangmi is more commonly known as Yeti.
Yes.
He says few people have encountered Yeti, and even fewer people have had encounters that lasted more than a few seconds. So given their elusive nature, it's tough to pin down their personality, and local people tell stories of Meadowkangmian tribes, and many witnesses have reported seeing 2 or more of them together.
Yeah.
Now, legend claims no one who sees the wild man will live. The Vistani natives in the Ravenloft moors and Smallic Woods, of the Baratok slopes on Baratok Mountain in Borovia all share a legend about a wild man or bear who lives in the mountains.
What about a
He
little
is
bit
part
of
of
pig?
Vistani lore. Huh?
What
What
about
about
the
a little
pig?
bit of pig mixed in?
With the man and bear.
Yeah, like a little bit of pig DNA
With the
mixed
man
in.
and bear.
With the man and the bear.
The big man bear pig.
No pig. No pig. Sorry.
I think I'm the only one who gets it.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right.
It's a South Park thing.
Where's Al Gore? when you
Yeah,
do that?
Al Gore, instead of crying about global warming, he was crying about man, bear, pig.
Wow, sorry. I had it worked out for you to do all that, but yeah, I don't know about that one. So he says some Vistani tribes like the Lepcha and the Bon people worship this mysterious being, and others tell tall tales about it. So, faced with evidence that the Yeti might exist, researchers like myself have become coming forward to examine hair and bone and skin samples and feces. Some of the samples have been attributed, I knew you would love that, attributed to
Hives is playing with
some of
poo.
them have been attributed to other animals like
Poo
bears
scientist.
and yaks and stuff, but some of them stand the genetic testing, and this one did stand that testing. So, what are we to make of this finger? Why was it placed in a globe in the study of a small town mayor? Why was it there? He says, I believe this item was placed where it was to be found by the Order of the White Rose.
Ooh, that's us.
At first I thought it was a symbol, but once I realized it had a function, it becomes obvious it is a message.
What's the function?
He says, so I'm getting ahead of myself. After determining what the finger was, I realized that there are only a few places in Ravenloft that can support and hide a Yeti. It has to be in high mountains that are always cold and snowbound.
Sounds like
A
Ruskov.
bleak retreat that invites no one to enter.
Rust
Yeti
Rock.
are so unusual, none has been captured and, as mentioned, only rarely seen. So the finger itself was nothing until I thought perhaps we did disservice to it by removing it from the globe. So I took the shattered pieces and I saved the snow and I recomposed a replica of sorts. So the snow globe appears again, it's floating right in
Oh,
front of you.
it's the finger-
fragile, but it works. Watch. So he uses his hands and he signals and he's turning the globe. You can see the globe is rotating, but the finger doesn't move within the globe. It stays in the one spot.
It's a
So
it's
he
a compass.
Says, notice, huh?
It's a compass. It's guiding us. to
Notice the
something.
finger remains in the same position, as if it's attached, attracted, and pointing to something.
Yes.
So let me now move around the room
Finger
with the globe.
compass.
So he takes the globe and he's walking around the room.
Yes.
And continue to watch the finger, and as he moves around the room, the finger continues to point in the same direction. And what does this remind you of?
Compass.
Compass.
That's
Ooh.
right, a compass.
Delgado.
So do you think this points to a Yeti itself?
Yes.
You think that's what it points
Yeah,
to?
This,
No.
this is what
No.
we do. This is
No.
what we do. If we
I
find
want
the
to
Yeti-
find the bear.
If
and
we
hug it.
find the Yeti, we set up a tour or like an
yeah.
attraction site.
You're
And
Yeti
bring
Grutz
tour.
want to hunt the bear.
Okay.
Grutz want to hug
It
the bear.
could lead to the thing that killed.
Grutz want to hug it.
The
Say
finger.
that again?
The finger could be pointing to what killed it.
Okay.
Whatever.
That's a
it
good.
came
That's a
from.
good question.
But finger
Because
was
why-
made by the person who killed it. Or maybe the
So
person
he
cut
says,
finger
well,
off.
What I did was I decided to follow its trajectory. And
Oh.
it's pointing. So let's follow that trajectory that it's pointing at. Let's point it
But-
across the map.
How do you know if you go like 8 miles north, it turns east?
It
Always
changes.
pointing in the same direction.
But have you taken
But
it 8 miles in one
Have you
direction?
taken it 8 miles forward?
right.
Okay, let's just for the sake of argument say I moved around with it. through the
Okay,
city,
Grutz
and I
is happy
adjusted
with
it
that
to make
answer.
Sure
Yes.
that it
Grutz is
still
happy.
continues to point.
What if it points up?
He says, I plotted the trajectory across the map of the domain by simply following its angle. The finger points almost directly east with a slight decline of 11.25%. There are
Decline?
32 points on a compass, and the trajectory follows the first quarter point off of east.
What's the longitude?
So it is.
So you mean a
it's
slightly
actually
southeast?
on-
Yeah.
It is slightly southeast.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking about elevation at first.
So he says,
Yeah, what elevation is it pointing? Is it pointing
Is it kind of
upwards
up or is it kind of
or
down?
straight?
Or is it straight?
let me show you.
Like, is it like...
Let me show you what it is. I have to hide things first. I can't.
Maybe-
I'll get better with this.
He's gonna show us the finger. He can't show us the whole hand.
So here's the domain. We're up here in Mordenshire.
California's missing. It's a little
It
bit
is
like
missing,
California.
Yeah, it is
It
missing.
looks a little bit like
So
California.
here's
If
Mordenshire.
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't so long.
Kinda like squiggly
If it wasn't so
California.
curved like
Yeah,
that.
it's squiggly
You guys were
California.
down here. Oh, excuse me. You guys were
Squiggly
down here.
California.
All right, and you came up through here. So here's Mordenshire. So he says, let's follow the trajectory and see what you see. Watch this. Boom. Pretty cool, huh? I did that.
Wait, why did you do that though?
Yeah,
To
I
show-
did
it
it because
shows
I'm showing
the,
you the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there
the
is where it
explosion.
crosses.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't notice the line.
Yeah, I just saw the explosion.
This is a rough
I was
line,
about to say, when did Michael Bay show up?
but where yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's where it leads to his
I was-
production studio.
I was effing around with the video.
That's pretty nice.
And it just did it itself. I was like, that's awesome. I'm just going to leave it there. He says, so, yeah, lame. So, all right, so here is the finger point.
The finger
He
point.
says, it starts here at Mordenshire, and it goes down here to Mount Baratok,
Okay.
and is the only thing that it crosses in the
Borovia.
domain of Borovia. This makes sense. Mount Baratok stands with an elevation of 9,250 feet and is the source of the Massard River. It's located on the northern frontier of Borovia, overlooking the abyss of the Shadow Rift. He
Oh, it's
says,
pretty
a
close to
previous group
Ravenloft.
of White Rose entered the Shadow Rift. Only 2 members survived that visit, with only N now the remaining person to survive. So Mount Baratok itself is covered with snow and ice 9 months of the year. The remaining 3 months is cloudy and rainy, and this is exactly the conditions in which a Yeti can thrive, and explains why that type of finger was used. It was meant to attract attention. It was meant for what? That's the question. Why was this compass placed in Chateau Faux in a floor globe?
Grutz believe for decoration.
It was hidden, Grutz. Nobody could see it.
Grutz, oh no, Grutz wasn't there.
Grutz, yeah, you're doing a good
It's
job.
like a secret
As you
code.
recall, the master was visiting Chateau Faux and his supposed friend, the mayor of the town, owned that globe. At first, I thought it was sent for him to discover.
Maybe it's so the demon guy knows
Maybe-
how to get home.
Maybe it was sent for the master to discover, and that's why the master went there.
Maybe demon.
Oh,
Upon
maybe he was picking
reflection-
it up.
But upon reflection, I considered that this globe is a magical creation by a mastermind of magic and cast into the Ravenloft domain intended for a magical person.
Grutz.
And he looks at you.
Grutz.
No, like,
Grutz is a-
You were there.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there.
Ooh, a magical person.
He says, upon reflection, I considered that this compass is a message from a magician to another magician.
Someone was upset he destroyed city.
Now, he's looking at Grutz.
I
and he
wasn't the
says,
one who
"I'm sorry,
started the
Grutz,
fire.
I have to admit, when I look at you, It doesn't say magic.
My beard's gonna flex.
Yeah, some of us have.
Do the
drips.
smoke thing. Grutz is gonna smoke his pipe and you're gonna see a dragon come out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very nice. Very
yeah.
nice.
I'll make his cape a billow.
Yeah! Grutz magic!
Uh,
I'm
I
gonna
look
say.
at the way you're dressed, and I would say.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to make sparks
Grutz-
come off of him.
Grutz
wearing
is
a
a
bath
sexy
towel.
magician.
I'm going
He's wearing a
back.
bath towel.
Yeah, that's
I'm
okay.
wearing like a bathrobe. I got just
Yeah,
got out of the
yeah,
sauna.
Yeah, he's nodding. Yeah, that's more like a wizard.
Grutz!
More like a magician.
Grutz sexy magician.
So you want us to go to Borovia?
Is there some, before we go to this, is there something you can tell us about this? What do you think? What's going on, Randolph?
I'm gonna cast Identify on it.
Okay.
You identify it as a
Sorry.
Yeti
The Identify goes through.
All right. So what will what do I do with an identity?
To tell him what it is, basically.
Yeah,
Yeti finger.
just tell me what
It's-
it is.
Well, I told you already. what
Yeah.
it seems
Guess
to
he's
be
trying to
very
tell you if there's any
difficult.
secrets about it.
Yeah,
I don't have to tell you any secrets.
He wants
about
your opinion.
Yeah, I
I'm
want
not
your-
your opinion.
No,
I-
he
Oh.
wants
That's
your
what I'm
opinion.
asking.
Oh, it's
I
a
want
compass.
you to tell me, or does it mean something to you as a wizard magic user? What does it mean to you?
Grutz is a magician.
I
Grutz can
believe
give
this
opinion.
is a message to you.
maybe.
What
a
does it
call
mean to
for
you,
help.
Grutz has the answer. Grutz has the
Hold on,
answer.
hold on.
I-
Did you listen to him?
I mean, the only
Said
try-
a call for help.
No.
maybe a call for help.
Yeti wants
No.
some help.
Give Grutz the
Or-
ball. Give
Or
Grutz the
it's
ball.
a
Grutz
secret
could do it.
message on how to
Grutz
find
could
the
do it.
wizard's lost tower.
Grutz could do it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hold on,
I
let's-
was
hold on,
friends
hold
with
on,
her.
Hold on. Let's let Grutz
Yes.
speak. 'cause
Let
very
Grutz hold ball. Grutz show.
No. I know. He says that this is a facsimile. I can't
He's
let
gonna
you-
break it.
Yeah. You.
Let me hold the ball.
He had a
Okay.
baby.
Turn ball. Turn ball slightly.
So he's gonna turn it and rotate.
Do you see? It's a middle finger saying to fuck himself.
It is in fact not the middle finger. It is the index.
Have you seen
pointer
it? Have
finger.
you?
You know, have you seen a Yeti?
Have you seen a Yeti?
Yes. I based on my investigation.
Yes,
and
you're a
information-
butler.
The poop studies told
He's a
him.
Okay,
researcher.
so
Grutz-
we're doing really
Grutz
good.
is an
Not even
expert with
difficult.
bears.
So let's go back to
The
what your
only thing
postulate
I can think of is that the finger itself might just be a component that a wizard might have used to enact the spell or create it.
So, but it doesn't mean. Is it something that wizards talk to and know? Is it something you know that you would do for a signal to each other? Is there something in your association that we don't know as other types of character, people, places, and whatever
If
that
it's,
are not privy to it as you would be in a guild of a wizard?
if it mentioned an eye, maybe, but
Okay,
I heard no mention of an eye.
there is no I. You mean an EYEI?
Yeah, like
It's a finger. It's
Yeah.
not an eye.
it's not. It's a finger, not an eye. I don't remember. It's not part of the cult I went to a meeting to, so
Okay.
I don't know that much.
Grutz has been to Illuminati.
He says, okay, if you don't know, I can
knowledge.
accept that, because one of the other things that I would say is you have not performed any contrary action or made any contrary statement to raise any doubt about your integrity as a member of this group, and that has never been spoken by any of your team. So your team relies on you. They know that you are
Yeah.
there by their side.
Rely.
That correct? So he's not doing anything. Oh, okay. He's not doing anything to undermine this group.
He did lock Diurd in that room with the armrest.
Tactical
Well,
move.
technically, that was called the survival of the fittest. I would say. I mean, he's going to say to you, "Okay, have you heard of any of you? Have you heard of the wizard Mordenkainen?
No.
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 You, through your arcane knowledge, will know."
Okay, I know.
Okay. Well, you know.
Grutz knows.
Okay, so
But Grutz doesn't really
I was
know.
friends
he
with the
says,
Giant before.
let me, for those who do not know, allow me to provide some background. Mordenkainen is considered one of the most powerful arcane spellcasters in the world of Mordenkainen. He is, in fact, this is off the record, Gary Gygax's character. Okay?
Who?
The guy that created Dungeons and
Oh,
Dragons.
I don't know.
That is his
Oh, cool.
created
That's
character.
cool.
His PC.
So he's from another universe called Greyhawk. His power was so
Oh, so that's
great,
why.
he became a planeswalker. So he has the ability to travel to other multiverse settings.
Just like Delgado.
It was that ability, more than Delgado, that led him to visit us here in the domain of Ravenloft. There is a tale a legend about Mordenkainen that came about many years ago.
Let's
starting in
want
Borovia.
selfie.
His intent was to free the people from the Dark Lord tyranny there. He's now referred to in Borovia as the Mad Mage, after he underestimated the Dark Lord power over the land and the creatures in it. Inspired by the Mad Mage's words, villagers from the village of Borovia stormed Castle Ravenloft in revolt. Castle Ravenloft is the Dark Lord's abode. It is where Strahd lives. And Strahd von Zarovich. I'm not sure if you all know who he is.
Grutz, no story.
So the tale continues with a dire ending. After a battle between the two in Castle Ravenloft, Strahd drove the Mad Mage to the mountains and sent the wizard hurtling over the Seer Falls. Those are also in Borovia. The story says the wizard, his staff, and his spellbook were lost. But the wizard survived the fall and retreated into the mountains, hoping to regain his power. There he was driven mad by the realization that he no longer has any hope of defeating Strahd, of freeing the people of the vampire's damned realm. This happened in the year 734, and as you know, we are now in the year 760. So he has been
Oh,
lost
not that one.
for 26 to 28
I mean,
years.
doesn't
Grutz was alive during that.
the only thing I remember about Borovia is one of the key features is that usually if you enter it, you can't leave anymore.
As is the case with any domain.
Yeah.
As long as the Dark Lord allows you to leave. Most of the Dark Lords don't care whether you come and go. They don't care about you. But this could be a challenge for you in Borovia. Because you will see and learn. You have created a ripple. As I said, you have created
We became the American
attention
Revolution.
from the dark powers. So this story has trickled out of Borovia from Vistani travelers. As Randolph says, the only people that can come and go from Borovia, and we don't know why, are the Vistani. And mostly anybody who enters Borovia is never heard from again. So that's something you have to consider. But I'm not sure if that's an old wives' tale or not, but the magic required to make this compass work is just the type of trigger that Mordenkainen himself would and could create. And I believe his message has been targeted to you, Randolph.
Okay.
So the question is, what do you do with his request? He's sent a request for you to come to him. But don't answer
Yeah.
yet. There's more. There's even more. And it's not just for you.
It's a magical infomercial.
For Grutz.
But wait, there's
Team
more.
leader.
There's enough. Come on the quest now, and you'll get a second Yeti finger.
Is your mic supposed to be blinking?
No, that means it's not working. We may not have recorded me at all.
Dang.
That would be bad.
Usually this one.
One
gives
of
you-
mine-
This
Mine
should've
probably
picked
picked
you
you
up.
up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hope.
Buy two, get one free.
Yeah.
I need to let you all know that N appeared here before you. He has already gone to Barovia. He has requested
okay,
that
so
he
now
goes
we're-
alone,
He's fast.
but I want you to know that he is in need of your help as well.
How do you know that?
How many leagues of roses are
Because
you sending
he
me?
can't go and do into this area. It's basically a suicide quest for him.
So why'd he go?
Which he accepted. Because it is his holy quest. And he is a man driven not by your sort of
Yes.
your same gains. He
He's
has
light.
a higher calling than just money, fame,
Calling to die.
fortune.
Glory.
Women. Don't forget
So
the
he,
women.
women.
Glory.
He brings out a box.
That guy definitely doesn't want women.
He brings out a box. So W, your brother has gone to Borovia.
Sounds just like him, what he would do. He wouldn't want his teammates to get hurt in the battle.
But I'm here to tell you he needs your help.
Yeah, I figured so.
Having
He's very
made
head
that
first.
having made that decision, and you
Yeah.
with your decision, and I have a box, and it's a box about this big. It has no return address.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
No one asked Grutz his decision as
Fuck
group
you.
leader.
Now hold on. He says, "Do you wish to open the box here
Hell yeah.
in
Yes.
front of everybody?"
Hell yeah.
Yes.
You can open the box.
Oh, hell yeah.
What you take out of the box
His-
is a doll.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
carved doll. You can send the picture. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Grutz have a colored dog too.
Oh, you got one, yeah.
Yeah, the titty
Is this
demon
your
lady.
character that you have like a imaginary
It's a titty
friend
doll
of?
with antlers. is what
I
it
don't
is.
fucking know. This is creepy.
You have an imaginary friend.
It says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
There's the doll.
Oh my God! Look at that.
On the doll
That's creepy.
it's a lifelike doll, and on the
Oh.
doll is a label. What does the label say?
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
I don't know.
Fucking no.
Blinn Sky.
I don't know.
Grutz want it.
Yeah, she's got nice eyes.
It's pretty.
I thought it was a hot girl.
Yeah, she's cute.
Why would a hot girl be in a box?
Fuck if I know.
Hey, Jiminy
Well,
Carlyle
this
is like,
box is,
how big
Look
is
at
this doll?
Chives. Maybe he's into that kind of thing.
That's his sex doll.
Chives. Grutz found this. Grutz is gonna put the titty figure with antlers on it. It's carved
So he's going to look at that, and he's going to say,
Found it.
where did you find this?
in a hole at a farm in Philfaw.
Well, he says, I need to analyze it. I need to take a look at it. He said it may be old, it may be new, it may be, maybe just some kid carved it and put
Yes.
it down.
I think you said it looked ancient. Though.
You did say that.
Not Hives. He didn't. This is his first time he's seen
in
it.
general.
Yeah.
Well,
You
Hives
tried.
might not be as skilled as the DM.
That's true.
Yeah, I
Maybe
understand
Hive
what you
sucks at his job.
Hives does not
He
have
says,
very
I have one
small
more
eyes.
thing. By the way, the package, we think, came from Barovia for you.
The doll came from
There
Borovia.
there is no return on it. But it was handed to us by a Vistani.
Was
And
it-
I said, where...
It's your
we
mail order
asked-
bride,
we asked
Jiminy.
where...
Mail ordered bride.
Finally arrived!
Holy shit! Wow, I've been waiting forever! Wow!
I'm so happy for you, my friend.
Wow! Drinks all around, all about Hive!
Oh, hold on, I got a drink for drunk. I got a roll for drunk.
That's true, he has to be getting drunk.
I got a roll for drunk.
He says, oh yeah, you're drunk. Sure.
You're drunk.
Okay, yeah, I
immediately.
roll for drunk.
He says, at the same time the box was delivered, an envelope was delivered. And this envelope is from Borovia. The return is from, obviously, there's a wax seal on the back of it. He says this seal is obviously somebody of high standing in Borovia. And he says, I didn't open it. I wanted to open it. And
Who's
I
it
wanted
for?
to have something to do with it.
Yeah, Grutz get to read. Grutz
He
is
says,
leader.
that is personal. It's up to you if you want to read it to us or if you want to read it.
Grutz will speak loud.
Okay.
My friend, it is not often I find someone as interested in power as myself. Though I am cursed and treated as such, even I sometimes revel in the promise that strength and resilience can bring. I sense a desire in you. A desire to do more with your rage and strength. Yes, 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 yes. Who look better to help than one who brings death to a dark place? Yes. Those around you I can't read this big word. Sense something holding you back. Have you ever noticed the way your companions treat you as a lackey? Grutz is leader now. Grutz treats them like lackeys. A pawn. Someone they allow to take blows that will toss aside at a moment's notice. Most high noble types like them tend to use, and that's Bird's big too, the people around them. Plus, they whisper strange things into the minds of others. That's true, he does it.
He does, you're right.
What if they are doing the same to you? What if they are? Squart's confused. I can give you what you seek, if you would be so kind to return the favor. Grutz wonder what favor means. But for us to trust one another, you must promise not to utter any of this. To the
You must promise not to read this note out loud.
Grutz is gonna go silent and say, "That's the end of letter," and then Grutz is gonna go read it.
Grutz is just gonna start quickly eat it.
It
You
was,
should read
it was
it.
by the way intended. I figured I figured you were going to read it, so no worries.
Grutz is immediately going to start eating and say nothing. Disregard everything.
That's funny.
Pay no attention to what I say.
Pay no attention to that. Yeah, in the back. Yeah.
Grutz found new friends.
Are you going to finish it, or are you not going to finish?
Yeah, sure. Grutz can finish if you guys really want to hear Grutz.
It's
I'm
all right.
curious.
It's all right.
Resourceful and power, you know of whom I am. Come to see me in Borovia. Bring your white rose with you. Okay, Grutz will do that. Grutz leader now. Grutz can direct. I promise you all safe passage when you arrive. I will ask something of you.
That's from the Dark Lord.
If the power of the weak is what you seek, you will do as I request. I don't know if Grutz want yet. Grutz want fight. Grutz want to beat. Grutz want to make holes. Then I will know I can trust you. Afterwards, I shall impart my knowledge and gifts to you. This I promise you. Your friend, Strahd von Zarek.
Your friend.
Yes, Grutz is Strahd von Zarek.
So Hives is going to look at you and say, well, you
Zarek.
have been invited by Strahd.
Yes.
That is a direct invitation to you.
Oh, fuck
Who is Strahd? Grutz don't know.
Who is Strahd?
It's Grutz's friend. So
Oh,
Grutz
it's that.
treat his friend.
It's the
Sure.
inspector from Sherlock Holmes.
So-
Inspector Lestrade wants to see
So
you.
Hive says, well, I can give you background on Strahd, and I can give you background on Borovia. But
Yeah.
it's really a choice.
No, Grutz is okay. Grutz find friends can be more. The best way to learn about a new friend, Grutz find, is to talk to them
And meet them.
and meet them in person. And if this
So,
man wants
this
to be
is-
Grutz's friend,
This is the Dark Lord of Borovia.
wow, he's a lord.
And
Very important.
I'm quite positive that what you did and what you performed with Gregor, as I understand,
Yeah.
you're the one that kept tackling him.
Yeah.
You're the one that
Grutz
kept
kept
fighting
beating-
and bringing him in.
Grutz get beat.
You did too, but he's the one that didn't
I
let him
beat
go.
him while everyone else was watching. He was watching the whole time.
I
Grutz
was
was beating
helping.
him.
It sounds like he wants to make you his
The whole
Dark Lord
time, like
apprentice.
for like
Fuck was I
like
supposed
half
to
an
do?
hour.
Jiminy
So
Carlyle.
Hives is going to say,
I don't know,
it's
suffocate him with your
possible-
blubber or something.
This
Can't do that.
this
He's getting too
invitation
close. He's a werewolf.
can mean all kinds of things, Grutz. So
Grutz?
understand that this could be, it could be, maybe he wants you to replace him.
Grutz would find it rude to refuse a request.
Yeah, Jiminy Carlyle is a viable replacement too, I'd say.
I think you've got your own problems with Barbie.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on over there.
Oh, that's creepy. I can't wait for Jiminy Carlyle to bite the dust now. That's weird.
So the
I do not like
question
that.
is this enough reason for you all as a group to go?
Yeah, Grutz is leader. Grutz say we go. We go.
Would you go to a place they gave you a creepy doll? Fuck no.
I mean,
I would.
Jimmy,
I
don't
blame
treat your
you.
wife like that.
It
That's
says
rude.
I don't blame you for wanting to consider it because
Excuse me, Mr.
You
Hives,
could
did
not-
you play Resident Evil 8? There was creepy dolls in that one.
Stop
No,
treating your
no.
wife
hey, you might
badly,
see a big
Jimmy.
titty vampire. What?
Stop treating your wife badly,
it says
Jimmy.
I suspect
What?
that
What?
this
Yeah,
is,
they said mail order
these
pride.
these are a start.
Yeah,
But I don't think these are a
we
finish.
should be happy for him.
I
Yeah.
think there's probably more to the story for the rest of you, and even more that for obviously Grutz. There's more for you. There's more for you as well, Randolph. What's going on? And as for
Epion, you
you,
can come to
Jimmy,
castle, too.
I don't know where that comes
I
from
invite you to castle.
and what to say.
Well, that other bard said something about things in the future.
Well, I understand the tag now.
So he says, "What's the other bard? What is that?" So you can
Oh.
describe it. You
Oh,
don't have
yeah,
to go
yeah.
into it here.
Yeah, well, you know, the other bard guy, blah, blah. Ladies 3, old story. Here, have a copy.
Okay. So he kind of looks at your thing and he says,
Here, have my mixtape.
This looks like your mixtape thing."
Yeah.
He says, "I don't know
It's
anything
track
of
number
this.
3.
I don't know anything of this. This
Oh.
sounds more like ancient druidic types of folklore."
Oh, here, give it back to me. Drew, Diurd, what does it say?
Well, Diurd, yeah, you do, yeah. So,
Dear
he says, but it's earthy. You know, it's obviously it's talking about fey creatures and such. So that's leads to druids and druidism. So, but obviously, as a team, you are being pulled, and you have reason to go, and especially because I also believe if you don't go, N will never return. So it's up to you. So
Hey,
that's
he's
the
gonna become
question.
another Yeti.
Yeah, what?
He's gonna live with the Yetis.
I
He's
don't
already
know
got
if he's
white
gonna
hair.
go
He'll
there or
blend
not.
right in. He's big.
You know, I'm already
Grutz
friends.
say,
I'm already friends with the Shrine. Okay?
Grutz say we
with-
can't do
I
all
tried.
at once. Grutz
Yeah.
say we go to one, then
At a time.
other, then other.
Well,
I want to figure out what's going on with the mail
So
order, bro.
if you're gonna go, he says, "I want to prep you
Oh.
Okay,
because you are the first rose to go." Well, obviously, he knows about you because of you, Grutz.
what tests do Grutz need to do?
You don't need to do any tests. You've already.
I'm
been
bad at
tested.
math. Okay.
You don't have to kill anyone. You don't have to murder.
like,
Grutz
make
didn't
any
do
holes.
good in math.
You don't have to make any holes. You've already made enough holes. But what I'd like to do is to give you some more information and give you some more assistance. So first of all,
What kind of assistance?
the biggest thing to provide for you is background. So let me talk to you about Borovia, what we know. Obviously, anybody that goes in, most people don't come back out.
Yeah.
That hasn't kept people like yourself from going. No Rose has gone in there. And we've specifically stayed away because we know that anybody that goes in, more than likely, he's not going to let you come out. There's only one way you would be able to return. It's to draw his favor, which sounds like
Yes,
it
Grutz
might
draw
be
favor.
what he's saying. I can grant you favors for whatever it is that he wants from you. But
Grutz don't
if
suck
you
dick.
if you can go in there and you can find out
Grutz
what he
ain't no
needs
simp.
and what's driving him and all the information that you can provide would be invaluable. So if you have decided to go as a group, I will work with you.
Yes.
So he says, let me give you some basics of Borovia.
It's been a while since I've been skiing. Why not?
He says the maps that we have are very vague, but these have been drawn
Ooh,
by...
we can make better maps and then sell the better maps.
There you go.
Exactly.
So
Just have to explore it for a couple years.
Yeah, we just explore what we go to. It's a very detailed map of one path.
Yeah, it shows one area.
Yeah, it just shows you how to go where we went.
And then on the road you just see danger. Danger.
Yeah, all along the edge, yeah. I know.
I'd turn back if I was you.
If we're going to the land of vampires, we need as much holy water as possible.
We'll talk about that.
We're gonna need little gallons of holy water.
So
Jiminy agrees. I
we
want
started
all
with a
holy
basic
water diet.
drawing
Yeah.
like this,
And garlic.
and we have improved to the following.
We
Are
need
these the
garlic,
maps?
mirrors, holy water.
So there has been just basic, and I'll put
Oh,
I'll put some of these on the board as well.
Hey, Chives, have you ever been to Castle Ravenloft?
Oh no!
Nobody-
Oh
nobody-
no!
Grutz wants to know if it looks nice.
Have you ever
Oh,
seen
no.
Castle Ravenloft?
Here, Grutz, here's some scenery.
Yeah, Grutz went on vacation.
Oh,
at
what's
Castle
that?
Ravenloft.
Like,
Look, oh, what's that? It couldn't happen to be a model, right, of Castle Ravenloft.
Could be.
we had the wizards 3D print this.
It's a new spell, 3D
Yeah.
print.
So here is the basic map of Borovia as hand drawn. He says so. Back here is Mount Baratok. This is the area that I told you about with the Mad Mage. The Borovia itself is about 80 to 100 miles across from across the area. So if you walk at a fast pace, you move about 24 miles a day without risking exhaustion, or 30 miles if you go at a fast pace. So you can get across about a third of it, but it will affect your constitution if you go fast. The village of Borovia itself is down here. Castle Ravenloft and the surrounding areas lie to the east.
Is
I
that where the Dark
understand-
Lord is?
Pardon me?
Yes.
He's right here.
He is in the castle
He's in the
above the village.
And there's the little village.
I understand the
Okay,
population of the village to be about 500.
Yeah, yeah.
The Burgomeister's name is Kolian Indirovich. His status, of course, could have changed. We don't know. It could be a different one. So there are two other towns that I know of that are of value for you. One is called Valeki, which is in the middle here, and they're all kind of on the same line. Valaki is the largest town in Borovia with about 2,500 residents. Further to the west is a town called Kresk, and it's said to be sort of more of a fortified village with about 250 residents. Stories say all of these visitors live behind a huge wall. You'll find both of the towns on the map that was drawn by this Vistani. And like Strahd himself, locals cannot leave. They do not leave, which means that aside from the occasional foreigner, Borovia is itself a kind of a closed ecosystem. So the Vistani account for most of the valley's contact with the outside world. Nobody knows why, but they're able to come and go. The contact is one way, for aside from the occasional cask of Marikov wine, Borovia has little that the world outside wants. So there is a winemaker there, and it is run by the Marikov family.
There's little outside people wants.
Marikov. The Vistani have turned considerable profit importing goods from the outside in, as you can imagine. Goods like bread and fruit, because it's impossible to grow there in the clouds-covered land. So I hear there is no sunshine, but drab and gray due to overcast, constant overcast.
Oh, sounds like
Even
a good place
more
for
so.
vampires.
Sounds like a place for a vampire.
There's a place called the Wizard of Wines. I want to go there.
Sounds like Washington.
Wizard
Is
of
that on
Wines.
your map?
Yeah, it's on the map. Wizard of Wines.
Sounds
So
lovely.
that'll
Just
be
don't
the
look at my
vineyard.
notes.
Which map is that it's on?
Oh, it's on the
Okay.
green map.
Okay. So that is not necessarily written on this one. Mount Gakis is this big, huge mountain down here. So you're surrounded, it's a valley surrounded by large mountains. You've got the mountains to the back here where there's a lake, a very large lake, Zarovich, which is, of course, his last name. And then on this side, you have large mountains too.
Why did you name the lake after yourself?
What?
Why did you name the lake after himself?
It's his family name.
Yeah.
Why did they get to name the lake?
They're the
Because
ones.
Obviously,
of
the
the Lord of
biggest
the
known
area.
threat is Strahd himself, but there could be any other number of
Ah,
major or
geez.
minor threats that have not been documented.
Well, if he's the biggest threat, why isn't there a Lake Strahd?
Yeah.
Because that's
His
family
last name is Zarovich.
Zarovich.
Hey, no, I'm just joking.
Why did he?
Look, I can only give you
Why did he
information.
want a lake?
It's
Well,
just
you know, they
part of
just
the
do
mountain.
that.
They
You know,
want
'cause he
a lake.
owns it.
Part of the
you know?
land.
Why did he
It's
want?
not like he
Why did
created
name
it, it was there.
That's what people do.
You need water to survive.
Your
I
name's-
can
You're
only
not
give
when
you...
you're Strahd, you're a fucking vampire.
Are you
Well,
telling me Jiminy
but there's
Carlyle
other
doesn't
people
want to
that
have a
live there.
mountain
He needs
named
to
Mount
drink
There's
Jiminy?
a whole
blood.
valley here. That's what this is.
Might
This whole valley.
exist.
He's
Mike,
just to keep
Billy.
people alive.
Mike, it's like cattle. You have to keep the cattle alive so that way you can get blood.
I guess.
I can only give, yes, exactly. I can only give you the information that's been passed by the Vistani, and remember, they are loath to say much about Strahd. So when you encounter Vistani, and you will encounter Vistani there, if you can get them, you want to get their trust, you want to work to gain their trust, you want to work to become one of them, because they will help you with
Jimmy.
Strahd. They have some sort
Get
of
ready
link
to
with
work the
them.
pole.
So it's like he whose name shall not be spoken.
Well, no, we're not going to go down that road. So Strahd himself was a warlord who defeated the enemies of his deceased father, King Barov. After slaying them in this valley, Strahd was amazed at the beauty and dubbed the land Borovia. And his wartime experience caused him to grow cruel, however. His mother, Queen Ravenovia van Roynen, was fearful of him even. And she was unappeased by the castle named Ravenloft that he constructed in her honor. He consolidated his power, raising the castle over the valley and controlling the Church of the Morning Lord. I'll talk to you about religion.
Wow, the Morning Lord kind of sounds like something that someone else had it.
The Morning Lord is the leading church in the family. Strahd removed all viable opponents and obstacles to gain control of this entire domain himself. He had a brother named Sergei, who was found dead years later. Some blame Strahd for this. We don't know. But Strahd is the only line left of von Zarovich. Strahd was supposed to be envious of the love his mother showed on his brother Sergei. That could be a clue. So you might want to note that. When the queen died, Strahd's envy turned to hatred, especially towards Sergei. No one knows how Strahd became a vampire in the Dark Lord of Borovia. Lore states that Strahd murdered his brother, but there's no confirmation. Strahd became a vampire in year 351. With our current year, it's 760. That means he's been a vampire for over 400 years, folks. At that age, you should consider him as an elder vampire lord, which means he will be about 4 times as powerful as Randolph.
He needs to be more than that.
That's kind of sad if he's not.
That's kind of sad. Yeah, that's a little pathetic.
Grutz find that week.
4
He can take
times?
him. Yeah.
4 times? All right. It's well known that Strahd
Should be 20
considers
times.
himself to be the land of Borovia. He calls himself, I am the land. Nobody really knows why, but he says this. He's very complex, and it's easy to think that he's just evil, the quintessential representation of evil, but that would make him predictable. So he's described as proud, extremely intelligent, dangerous, powerful, but also regal, and he's bound to laws that he himself contracts. I am the ancient, I am the land. That's his quote. He's as much a prisoner of Borovia as he is his master. The dark powers have shackled him to the confines of Borovia, which almost any outsider can enter. You can enter it, no problem. But they too cannot leave due to the deadly fog that surrounds the land. The sun never shines. Even during the day, the sky is dimmed by fog or storm clouds, or the light is strangely muted. Despite being undead, Strahd Strahd is still a count who considers the Borovian populace his subjects.
How do they eat? What do they eat?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to some of the
What?
basics.
Eat Yetis.
So several of you have reasons to go.
Eat Yeti meat.
As I said, N has already started and sent me a message asking for advice because of his holy mission in the area to cleanse himself and a town. He wasn't specific, but he said if W or any of you wish to follow, his request is that you not come. Even so, I think he needs your help, as I've said. Let's see. As I said, I believe he's focused on you because you were the only rose to remove a Dark Lord.
Yes.
We'll do our best to make this not a suicide mission, all right? I increase your chances if you're willing to take this, which you've already said you are. All right.
Of course, we'll take the steroids.
I'm going to give each of you 2 greater healing potions
Yes.
and 2 lesser healing potions. Each one of you.
My thing back in my tower.
Yeah, does your bathrobe have any pockets?
Yeah.
All right.
Just in the pocket.
So when you spawn, does your bathrobe disappear?
Yes.
It is odd that you don't have a priest with you, but I believe once you gain, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
Grutz stole my pencil, that little collector.
My pencil.
Oh, thank you.
I've given you maps, but
Oh,
these are crude maps. You'll have to.
What items did you give us again?
2 greater healing, 2 lesser healing.
Thank you.
We're low on money. Much of the lower hilled forests throughout Borovia are made of hardwood trees like beech, cherry, hazelnut, oak. At higher elevations, there's trees such as pine, fir, spruce, typical of any wooded area like Mordenshire and such. The forests are teeming with wildlife. The land has deer, rabbits, rats, wolves, black bears. The sky is populated with ravens, hawks, songbirds, as well as bats and owls. So you know that the valley is located between Mount Baratok and Mount Gakis, both mountains part of a larger mountain range known as the Balanok Mountains. And that sort of shows up across here. I think it says it. No, it doesn't. Okay. The Evergreen Forest is the Smallic Woods, covers the entire valley. So the Smallic Woods are all of these areas down here that you see. They're trespassed by the old Smallic Road that runs east to west. That's the road that's moving along through here. It's what these dashed lines are. And you can see it kind of rolls, it kind of meanders and comes up along here. Because it gives a wide berth to Castle Ravenloft, of course. At the center of the valley, south of the slopes of Mount Baratok, stands a large lake known as Lake Zarevich, fed by the melting snow from mountains above. Now, one of the deities that looks over Borovia before it became part of the Demplade of Dread was the Morning Lord, who shared many characteristics with the Faerun deity Lathander.
Yeah.
Our druid is not here. Such an association withdrawn and renewal. The Morning Lord's influence was felt during daytime, but prayers to him went unanswered since Borovia's curse to the Shadowfell. Another Borovian deity known as the Mother Night presides over the nighttime. It's dualistic, organized around the sun and the moon, life and death, Morning Lord and Mother Night. So because Borovia's churches are dedicated to the Morning Lord, it is likely that Mother Night is an older goddess whose worship was predated the founding of the other. She was incorporated into the Church of the Morning Lord when co-opting the people's faith proved easier than stamping it out. Some churches still have a small shrine to Mother Night, tucked into some of the unobtrusive alcoves, facing west towards where the sun sets. So everything about these are dualistic. The gods share a celestial division of labor, of which the Morning Lord unquestionably gets the better part. Borovians gather in public to beseech him to bless weddings, births, and new beginnings. They call upon him to raise crops and
Can he
fatten
bless
livestock,
Jiminy's new marriage?
heal the sick. Huh?
Nope, it's all.
They venerate Mother Night in private, begging her protection from the
Hey, she's
darkness
hot, man.
and petitioning her to send the souls of the dead safely on their way. So understand that they are a very religious people. That these are the things they cling to because they haven't got anything else. Everything is so dire and sad. Others are more open in their worship because she is associated with the moon. Mother Night is the goddess of the shapeshifters of the valley, therefore strahd. Both deities have important roles, and the cosmology is not complete without the others. So the Morning Lord, their domain is life and light. It's like the sunrise.
That's funny because the Morning Lord hates undead.
Road traveling into the sunrise, and then Mother Night is more like the death and grave.
Maybe that's why
She's
he
a
said
symbol
that. The
of,
Morning
so the
Lord
symbol of the Morning Lord is the road traveling into the sunrise. So where you see that symbol, it's going to be more of a positive
So,
person, let's just say.
Is the Morning Lord like an offset of Lathander? Or is he actually like a...
It's believed that's, as I mentioned, it's believed to have, yes, evolved
Okay.
from that, yes. Whereas Mother Night is more like a woman with a wolf or a raven's head, and she is draped in night flowers. Remember something very important about Borovia. Borovians depend on the custom of hospitality, protecting travelers and strengthening the bonds of their community. So to cement those bonds, they have a codified guest law. All right? The host
sounds familiar.
may not harm a guest or allow them to come to harm under their roof. The guest may not harm or insult or steal, I repeat, or steal or insult, Jiminy, insult, from the host. Or
Grutz.
else you will fortify that bond.
Grutz.
Yes.
Let's have a question.
Yes.
Since you mentioned that Strahd condones his own laws, would Strahd also condone those rules of the game?
Yes.
Yeah, for his guests.
Thus,
to
Grutz
visit.
is safe in his
So
room
what
house.
what do you think that may mean?
When Grutz visits, Grutz is safe.
As
As
long
Grutz
as
doesn't do anything dumb.
the lore is that you welcome them into your abode,
Yes.
and they will only come in when you are welcomed.
Yes.
So that means Strahd can only enter where he is welcomed
Yes.
or invited.
Like a vampire.
Typical vampire lore.
Yeah,
But
I-
be careful with the typical vampire lore, because he is an elder ancient, and some of the weaker things may not work with him. I don't know what does
Garlic.
and does not.
I bet he doesn't get invited much often to slumber parties.
I think you're probably right. Usually the bond between a host and a guest happens over drink and a breaking of bread. They don't have much bread. So anytime you are invited by someone in, you would do them disservice and yourself harm by not accepting. Likewise, if you do that to them, that is your extension of hospitality and friendship.
So if you give them bread and drinks, it's hospitality of friendship.
Welcome them. This is a
Fortune
big.
booze.
This is a big.
Hives.
Yes.
Grutz needs best wine to give to Strahd. And bread.
Okay.
I think the wine is
Bread
blood.
made from the finest yeast and butter.
Yes.
No.
We'll give you bread.
No, he doesn't drink wine. You need blood of a virgin.
No!
Something like that.
Vampires drink booze.
Hey,
Oh, well,
you have to
use
invite him
Jiminy's
into your
blood.
wizard tower, and then he can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Look
As a
at
guest.
Jiminy's blood.
Take him to the sauna.
Because the guest cannot harm the
Jiminy
master.
probably tastes like
and
a
likewise, the
honey
master
ham.
can't harm the guest.
Well,
Yeah.
not supposed to.
Okay, so let me show you. Hopefully, I can show you this.
I heard a joke at Jiminy's expense. Fuck. Talk shit, get hit. What'd you say?
So I'm
Grutz is
trying-
saying we need to bring the finest glass of wine for Strahd, and they said the blood. And
So
I
here
said,
you
"Bring
have
Jiminy."
a picture of what is
Wow.
a drawing of what
Little
is
blood sponge.
typical of looking of a Barovia, the Barovians themselves.
They are pale, like
They are
like
pale
blue
because
blood
there's no
blue.
skin.
They're
Very,
blue.
very good noticing of you, Grutz.
yes, Grutz good.
They haven't been
That's
in
good.
sunlight in over 300 years, Greg.
Well,
They are not vampires.
They're pale beyond belief.
Can you show this to?
They are like
go ahead and show
mole
that to
rats.
Sal.
They're paler than me.
I print
they're
stuff
pale
out.
pyres.
I
They are
print
like
stuff.
male.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna say they're paler than me.
Wait, is this like their actual
Wait,
You
color?
belong there. His
Yeah,
home.
no,
That's
well,
their actual color.
I fit in.
So their
How
clothes
pale
are
I
all
am.
blue as well?
Yes, I think so. Although
Yes.
remember, they're actually gray. They're
They're
sort of gray looking, sort of a bluish gray.
They
So
are
are their
so
clothes
gray, they're
all
blue.
blue too?
They're so gray, they're blue. So they're all gray. Like a super
Things-
gray.
They're
Things
blue
are-
dabu dabu da.
Same things there are pretty tough. Let's
Grutz
see.
might find Blue Man Group there.
Just wait until my
Yeah, this is them.
That's Strahd's color. They have to follow the color scheme.
I thought Strahd likes red.
Man, Strahd sounds like such like
opposite
a
of red
drama
is blue.
queen.
Bavarians are deeply invested in their homes and
That's
their
why he likes
traditions.
love so much. It's
They're
the
wary of strange people and strange customs.
Get rid.
So you can expect coming in there, you as a strangers, they're not going to necessarily trust you and be open.
That's
to you.
why we need lots of wine, Chives.
The way Borovians deal with strangers can be upsetting. They have a tendency to stare openly in silence, expressing disapproval of anything that doesn't seem
I
familiar.
hope you roleplay this.
They're not necessarily talkative to the extent of being pointedly rude. So they have violent tempers. They can boil up through
That's like that
customary
place.
silence when they are provoked. And they have a social cohesiveness that can make them act together against you
It's like
if
full of fish.
mistreated. So remember
Color
that
blue.
if you
You
do
fuck
anything,
one member of the town, you fuck all of them.
you do.
I'll keep that in mind.
They were happy once, but their history and current conditions aren't pleasant. So if you try to win the trust, and you do, you have an ally and a friend and a stalwart ally for life. Obviously, their children aren't happy. They're raised in a culture of fear and told time and again not to wander too far from their homes or enter the woods. They experience little hope or joy. They're taught to fear the devil's strahd above all. They eke out modest livings with no wealth pouring into the valley. They trade in old coins that bear the profile of their dark lord. They hide their precious baubles in their houses and they dress plainly so as not to attract the attention of Strahd or anyone who works for Strahd.
So Strahd likes jewelry.
No,
But
but they're just trying not to attract attention. Every Bavarian adult is expected to learn a trade. They stitch their own clothes. They craft their own furniture. They grow their own food. They make their own wines, as we talked about. There's about 3,000 people living in the entire valley. And finding the perfect mate isn't easy. So Bavarians have learned to settle for what they can get.
That means Grutz look good there.
I mean, it's fresh blood.
Grutz is great,
Fresh
right?
blood.
Yeah,
Grutz
you
great?
feel
Grutz
Yes,
is right in.
You're probably considered a catch.
No, here's the thing, right? Any one of us is considered a catch
Grutz is gonna come home
genetically.
with a wife.
They're probably so
Grutz like
inbred
big
at
girl
this point
with muscles.
that they'll accept anything.
Okay.
Oh boy.
The history
I'm gonna have a rough
of
time.
Borovia is fragmented, and we do have an old book, The Lives of the Saints of Old Borovia. Before the coming of the von Zaroviches, the fertile land of the valley was rich in resources and had little way of defense. For generations, the valley was helpless to the periodic waves of looting and pillaging by orcs, goblins, and other
Hey,
invaders
Grutz is only half.
who the people of Borovia
That's
collectively-
racist.
Hey, you
And
can't
collectively
say, you
called
can't say
these-
that in the next edition of D&D.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
That's why it's all going to get tepid and boiled down to nothing. However, those people were collectively remembered as the Beastmen.
The Beastman.
This changed when Baron von Zarovich
We'll give you a make.
claimed the
Thank
valley as his domain and promised to drive those Beastmen out once and for all. So the people of the valley initially welcomed Borov's arrival, though the reaction was not universal. There was a group of elves called Dusk Elves who refused to pay fealty to him, and he crushed them for their intransigence. The Volgakovich family resented being supplanted also. They are supposedly a family of one of these towns. Please write that down. Volgakovich. Vallakovich. And many of the valley's religious authorities, notably Father Androl Karsten of Volaki and Sister Markova of Kresk, regarded the von Zaroviches with some suspicion. However, Barov kept his pledge, and he drove away those beastmen through the sharp observers noted that the greatest victories were won by his dour son Strahd. He did this with his usual and typical cold detachment, hounding the beastmen until they abandoned the valley. At
Is
one
Yeti
point,
part
none
of
could contest
beastmen?
the claim to the valley. So after his father died, Strahd now becomes the count.
Is Yeti part of Beastmen?
Are Yeti part of that? No, there weren't enough of them.
Okay.
Just orcs, goblins,
Yes.
kobolds,
Yes.
creepy, crazy things like that. I think you have enough in terms of the dates. So I don't think we have to go into that. And the wines. I've tasted one of the wines. They go by various different names. There's a purplish grape mash known as purpuric, or the purple one. And there's another that I've heard of. I never drank it. It's called Red Dragon, or Baloruso, Balorusu. It's like a blood wine or a red wine. I've never had it. And then there's supposed to be a third that is sort of. I mean, it's been nobody has any of it and hasn't had any of it for decades. And it is called, believe it or not,
Golden Brow.
Azu, A-S-Z-U. It's kind of a sparkling wine. And it was actually labeled as Du Le Stomp, believe it or not. So they come by various different names. But when you go to the winery, or if you have any of that wine, it's supposed to be, the wine that I had, the purple, was good wine. And so it's one of the things that keeps... that they're able to sell externally, and the Vistani will trade in it, a lot of it.
Wait, it's always overcast there, right?
It's overcast there constantly.
How the fuck do they grow grapes?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't have an answer.
Praying to Morning Lord.
I don't know.
Are grapes a summertime thing?
They should read. That's a great question.
Maybe the humidity.
These are Barovian grapes.
Maybe they
I don't have
pray
an
to
answer
the
for
morning.
you.
They grow in the moonlight.
Specifically
Yeah, I don't-
moonlight grapes.
I don't.
Bullshit.
You've never heard of moonlight grapes?
Yeah, that is weird.
It is odd.
Dark elf moonlight grapes.
It is odd.
This is crap.
Look it up. Google
Hey,
it.
It
hey.
is not crap.
No, wait. It's called the.
It is not crap. But
it's
it is
called
a
the-
good question,
Wizard of
and
Wine.
eventually
Wizard of Wine.
may get
Maybe
an
there's
answer.
A wizard. Maybe there's a wizard there.
Well, we know there's a wizard
He
there.
makes one pocket of sunlight.
Yeah.
The wizard's the one who gave us the finger. He's the
but
wine wizard.
No, he's in the.
No, he's a
in the
psychopath
Paragon.
in the mountains.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
is
the
this not that
mountains.
mountain?
No.
Oh, I thought
This
this was
is,
the same
that mountain's
mountain.
in this land, but there's like a whole
Yeah.
land.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a little
It's like its own
here.
country.
There's a Wizard of Wines, and then the mountains.
Yeah, we gotta investigate.
So those
Wait,
are where the
maybe
mountains
they
are.
have
Wizard
druids.
Wines.
So they have-
something-
Well, that's the
So
thing.
what
He
you
stopped
know,
his
you
quest
did
in the
ask.
mountains, and now
Okay,
he's the Wizard of
druids
Wine.
There-
That's why
there-
nobody's found
there
him
is
for
supposed
20
to be
years.
Druid history there.
Oh,
There we go.
There is also supposed to be history, and there's lore. This is all lore.
Druids can grow crops.
Of this Dusk Elf race that is found nowhere else, and
Are they hot?
They're elves.
I think
Elves are
they're. I
usually
think
pretty
they're
sexy.
pretty cold.
I will not answer that. I also I do want to show you
That's
another
scary.
picture
He's not
of
answering it.
That either means they're beautiful or horrifying.
I hope
what
they're
is
beautiful.
with these very strange things. So I do
You
want to
me
show you.
Move the camera.
Yeah. This is a picture of Vistani, just so you get an idea of what they look like.
Wow, they're
You
like
have-
adventurers.
You have run into Vistani before, but and can you? I have a picture. Printed.
Well, I can just look up with my phone.
You can. Okay.
Yeah, I can just take a picture.
So you'll find Vistani to be dark-haired or light-haired. Typically, that has to do with their tribe. There's a tribe that dresses in red, and there's tribes that dress in blue. To you, that doesn't mean
Red
anything.
versus.
Yeah.
Do they have a conflict between each other?
They are different. They have different culture, so to speak, and different backgrounds.
Does one of them
So
follow
which
the
ones did
Morning
we
Lord?
encounter?
No, they do not follow
Last
those.
Oh,
That's a
fair.
good question. They do not follow those. The Vistani follow their own.
Okay.
They are like what we would call. They have no homeland, so
They're
you can
nomads.
call them a nomad or a gypsy. Those have connotations that don't mean anything. The master was not happy with the Vistani, but he made pacts with them because he knew they could travel. And the Vistani respected him because they knew what I told you about his son. His son was kidnapped by Vistani. His son was sold to a vampire, and his son was turned into a vampire. The master had to kill his own son. That's what drove him to do what he does.
That's pretty brutal.
Yes.
Whoa.
Understand that Vistani are entertainers, storytellers. They also, of course, have curses, which you told me about. You are to be very leery around them. Make sure you do not offend them in any way. It is good to know some of their words. Rani is the name of a seer in the family. It can be, mostly it is women or female. They are maternal in terms of their hierarchy. Their wagons, which are round and covered and ornately colored, are called vardos. I'm trying to think of some other key terms. If you are invited into their camp, that is how they live. So they're about talking, drinking, eating. They're big on personality. If you're invited in, be very welcomed. Do not say, I do not want anything to drink. I do not want anything to eat. You will insult them terribly.
Do they rob you in their places?
Well, do you rob people?
No.
That I would question.
Grutz don't rob.
Everybody
Grutz have
robs.
not robbed. Grutz
Okay.
have not robbed.
I'm
Everybody,
calling bullshit on Chives. He's not Santa. He don't know what we do.
I would say everybody steals from everybody. I would say they are no different than you or me.
They rob.
There are what you would call criticisms of them. There are people who say that they are thieves and drunkards. They are not to be trusted. I don't find that to be the case at all. I find that, as with anyone, if you treat them with respect and you work with them, they will work with you. Because, like us, they want to exist.
They
want to
worked
have
with me
enjoyment.
quite a bit.
There you go. They worked you over. Yes.
They work quite well.
So they are to be respected, is all I'm saying.
They're
So
to
don't
They're
do
to be
anything.
spanked too.
Don't do anything that will, make them unhappy with you. You can turn that back to me. The food in the land you're going to find is mostly grub
camera.
type foods.
Ew.
So it's going to be cabbage
Ooh.
and
No meat.
there is meat. There is
Yes.
goat.
Yes.
There is chicken.
Yes.
There is fish from the lakes. But there is no beef. There's no meat like that. There's wolves.
You said there's
So
bears too, right?
There's bear.
You can get some Yeti meat.
There should be some mutton.
Yes.
But vegetables are ground vegetables like radish,
Maybe like root vegetables,
carrots,
I would guess.
root vegetables, turnips, cabbage. It will not be the most flavorful or interesting that you've had. So that's why
We should
I'm
bring
telling you here to
spices.
dine it up.
We could sell spices.
Dine up while you're here and enjoy what you have. Okay.
I'm gonna go buy spices.
My also concern that I've heard, and this needs to be for all of you who are magic in nature.
Yes.
Magic in Borovia is supposed to be different. Yes, he says.
Yeah.
Magic in Borovia may not work the same as it does here.
What do you mean?
Because the dark powers are so oppressive there, and they are so focused. So what do I mean?
Yeah.
If you cast a spell, it may not turn out what you think.
Just like
All
what
I
he
can
does
say.
on normal occasions.
So everything's wild magic?
This is lore. It doesn't say every time. It doesn't say there's a roll.
Okay.
It says that things may not turn out the same way. I hear it is more difficult for priest or paladin because they are so hated there.
Does the time
And
of day affect this?
believe me, N is a marked man in there. And I guarantee you, between him and Grutz, Strahd is going to follow you. He's going to
Don't
know
worry.
what you're doing.
Grutz won't invite N to castle.
So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if a spell doesn't quite have the effect you expect. Now, I believe N has gone to the village of Borovia. I showed you on the map because that's where he was directed to go. So I'm going to contact the Vistani team to take you there, and we'll transport you to the eastern gates.
Do you work with the red or the blue?
We work with both.
Okay.
I only
Depends on who has the better
only
price.
Point that out to you. Neither is good nor bad.
Is
Neither
there a
one or the other.
purple?
There is a red and
So
a
they
blue.
crossbreed.
There
We
is
can be
not,
the purple.
Yes.
not a purple.
The purple
When we
Vistani.
become part of Vistani, we'll be the purple Vistani.
Give
Yes.
me the purple.
Yes.
White Rose, also known as the purple Vistani.
Ooh, I vote for that.
There is a Rani that I have been told that is someone you should seek for advice. Her name is Eva, E-V-A. I told this to N. I told him if you come, you will meet him there. But you know N, he is not expecting you to come, so he will possibly do whatever he's doing. She can tell you about anything or question you want. She has the sight. If I was you, I would talk to her about the only magic item I know of is called the Icon of Ravenloft. you will want to ask her where you can find that. Now, understand that when Airani gives you information, she's not going to say, you find it right here.
Wait,
But she will give you clues in her second sight.
wait. You know the name? What is the icon of Borovia supposed to do?
Ravenloft.
Ravenloft. All I know is this. It's a 12-inch statue made of the purest silver.
With teddy?
What?
Is it like the statue with the titties and the antlers on it?
How big are the titties on the statue?
I will now describe it to you, and I will not, I guarantee you, use the word titties.
That's what Grutz wants to know.
That is nowhere in my description. It is a 12-inch tall statue made of the purest silver. It weighs 10 pounds. It depicts a cleric kneeling in supplication.
Ooh.
The icon was given to Strahd by the archpriest Cyril Romulic. I don't believe you need to keep that name. It was to consecrate his castle and his chapel. It has powers that are of fear to Strahd. That I know. That's why I assume it's going to be close to him. I would assume it's in the castle somewhere. I would assume you need to get that.
But Grutz can't steal.
It will break.
You'd say what?
It would break the hospitality we have with.
Yeah.
I imagine
Strahd.
that you can expect
We don't have to steal
that
it.
Strahd is not
Just
going
borrow
to be your best buddy.
But he said friend.
But you told us not to steal.
I leave it to you and your discretion, because I know you all have done things
Now-
and you have been very successful.
Now Hives is second.
Because
Hives-
you can bring it back to me.
Didn't you
And it
complain
will be-
about them stealing? Now you
I
want
didn't
us
complain.
to steal.
I
He's
didn't
gonna be
complain.
like, you guys shouldn't steal. It's bad, but you know, you
I
might
didn't
wanna.
say that. I
did.
didn't say you shouldn't steal. I did not say that.
That is true. He just told us
I
to pause.
said everybody
Yeah.
steals
Yeah, that's true.
because you were trying to be
That's
racist, and I was avoiding it.
we weren't being racist. He just
Against
asked if
the
they would
Vistani.
steal his stuff.
He
He
said,
didn't
"Don't
say
the Vistani
only they
steal."
would. He just said, will they?
All right. So remember, it's a provincial and an isolated area. Everyone is your enemy until
Isolated.
proven otherwise. Any encounter can be fatal. Anything. Even more so than what you have encountered here in the rest of the domain.
I'm probably bad.
So you have been successful where others have failed, and you have been extremely resourceful at your accomplishments, and that is why you are now being invited. So follow your instincts and the actions that have led you here to the big successes you've had, and I believe you can be successful there. This is not a suicide mission. Now we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I have some things for you
Ooh.
to make sure you are more successful.
Ooh.
Cool.
Exciting.
Because we didn't just come back with only one.
One of the things I would like to say,
I wanna
it is
try
out of
that.
game, is I am very happy that you didn't put up a lot of guff and problems for me to go down this path. I was anticipating, but I'm trying to give everybody their reason.
No, I don't want to go.
And yeah, exactly.
Sometimes something
I don't know, I don't
that should
really
take
have a
day
reason
takes
so
3 weeks.
far.
Sometimes something that should take 3 weeks takes a day.
Why wouldn't Grutz? Why wouldn't Grutz?
I was
be
expecting a lot more grief
I think I'm the only one who doesn't really have a motivation right now.
right now. But guess
Yeah,
what?
I figured something.
But guess what?
What?
I've already planted it.
I figured.
That's you
And
taking credit.
for
That's
their
really
wedding
bad.
thing, for their party,
That's
she
it.
said
You know,
she
they're
wanted to
just
go.
they're so immersed in
They're
it.
two,
Yeah.
two
They're
bad
used to-
people
You know
that just
how-
like cross
How
together.
can they possibly
Yeah.
even function?
No, I know.
That's amazing to
It's
me.
crazy.
How can they possibly
No,
I'll tell you
function?
right now, she's hardly functioning on the stand. It's
Yeah, they
very
show
funny.
pictures of him knocked out on the couch with his drink in his hand, and you see the drink fall because he just knocks out all of a sudden because of the drugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They both have their problems, and they probably just weren't meant for each other.
Well, I mean,
I think that's putting it mildly. Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds like. Okay, let's come back to this. Have you started this up? Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll cut that stuff. Don't worry. Just very quickly coming back, he says, let me give you a couple more Vistani terms so that you just have them for reference. So Giorgio is Giorgio. That's non-Vistani, like you guys, so they may call you Giorgio.
Marauder?
Giorgio.
Marauder?
Marauder?
It's a
Calaldo is,
Somebody will
is
get it.
justice, is a word for justice. It's Vistani types of justice. Mortu is a Vistani who has been cast out.
Oh.
And Fazeru, which is Fa-Szeru, is a non-Vistani and is an insult, so it literally translates
Outsider.
to person who acts like a plant.
Jiminy might get that.
You're kind of a knucklehead or you're
Plant
kind of
man.
dopey.
Oh,
Jiminy
yeah.
might get that.
You
Yeah.
plant
he was
man,
in a
you-
plant.
Yeah.
He hides in bush.
Jiminy is
He's a bushman. He
All
does
right,
hide in the
so
There's no such thing.
you're finishing off your eating, and Hive says, well, I want to open the vault, so to speak, and provide you with some items that I think will be of good use to you,
Yes.
Oh.
to help you on your way.
Items. you
And
say. I like
so I'm trying to figure out how to distribute this.
Grutz can distribute.
It's gonna distribute us some items.
I'm gonna. Can you reach into the desk and get a pair of scissors? There's some scissors in there.
You're just gonna have us draw him out of a hat or something. Usual method.
Interesting. Okay.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. If it weren't for
Pass
me grabbing the scissors and Sarah passing them,
Then scissors would never have
passed
handed.
it to Michael, who passed it to my dad.
It would never
my
have
dad
happened.
wouldn't have the scissors.
Some of these things I have.
With
So
Over the
give
White
this to
Rose.
Grutz,
Yeah, my dad is the
Okay.
scissors.
and I'm just going to read it, and you can put it down.
Yes.
So he's going to pass Grutz what's called a Witch King's Cordial.
Yes.
This is a bronze
Cordial.
medallion. It affixes to a flask or of tarnished silver and is suspended on a fine leather thong. When your
Ooh.
hit point total is reduced below half,
How fine leather.
the nearest creature from you will take 3d8 necrotic damage, and
Oh.
the glass fills with a potion
Yes.
of greater
Wait,
Yes.
is that any creature or enemy?
Is that a
It's
one use
the
item?
nearest creature. It doesn't say enemy.
It says nearest creature, so if you want to attack a cow or a sheep or something.
Yeah, but can it affect people, allies?
But it's when my hit points go below half.
Yeah, so does it affect,
Yeah, but
allies?
if it's like, oh, I'm next to Grutz, and Grutz goes below
Yeah, is it
half.
area of effect,
It
or is
says
it
the
just
nearest,
enemy?
it says when your hit points go or reduced to half, so his half, the nearest creature takes the damage.
Okay, so don't be next to it.
So it's
Grutz.
the
Don't
nearest
in battle.
So it
Don't go-
could be one of you. it
Don't
could
go
be-
near Grutz.
Does it work more than once, or is it a one use item?
No, more than once.
It's more
But
than once.
how
So you get a
often-
potion
but-
every
it's gotta
time?
be
Yeah,
like
that's when I'm
object-
below half.
That's
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do? Go above half, then below, then above, then below, then above, then below?
Yeah, so like
it
he's
just
just gonna
fills
drink.
the potion. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Sal.
But if he drinks the potion, he'll
Right.
be above half, and then
Right.
he'll just get a new potion every time he's
Right.
below
Yes.
half.
Right.
Oh, so you basically can't.
But I
do that.
believe
No,
that it's,
because I need to take a turn to drink it.
Yeah,
Cause
but-
issues.
Yeah. I need to look up one more thing on it because
Sounds-
I want to see
I mean,
how
I
many
can-
times
I
you
can
can use it a
quickly-
day.
Sounds like you have infinite potions.
Yes, but it shouldn't be. They don't make any. They don't give you infinite. There always is a limit. There should have been something there. I may not have copied it.
Yeah, most magical items has a charge.
Oh yeah, like you use it once per
Yeah.
day or something. Yeah, that's probably.
Part of the
what it
thing is here is I clipped
That's
it
true.
and I clipped. I may not have
Yeah.
clipped all the information.
Well, no, like we said, it probably has amount of uses per day or something.
He's going to give this blade. I don't have pictures of these to W.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
blade.
Maybe it's a W-shaped blade.
This is called a Farbond blade. The spell blade returns to your hand swiftly from great distances.
You have a
It says
boomerang
great
blade.
differences. You have a +1 bonus to your attack and damage with this weapon, and in addition, you can use the blade as a spell casting implement. And if you're ever separated from it, you can use an action to call it to your
Cool.
hand for up to a mile away.
Does it teleport or does it like physically
cool.
fly to you?
Well, that's a great question. I'm just going to say it teleports because if it flies to you, it could impale you.
Get stuck on things, yeah.
Like Doris
You can
Hammer.
do so much stuff. What if one of us grabs it? Will we like teleport back with it?
No, I'm going to say that does not happen. It only
Oh, it doesn't transfer its
You're
teleportative
asking questions
properties.
beyond what they either I copied or I would have to.
I'm a creative thinker.
Yeah, you're thinking beyond the boundaries.
Beyond the means.
Okay.
I'm
these
thinking
are-
outside of the Raven
These
box.
are Diurd items.
Oh,
so-
Diurd items. I can read about the Diurd items.
I'll wait.
Okay, yeah, I will get her surprised reaction.
So for Epion,
Oh, Epion.
we have
A flute.
Better not be the electric loot. They'd be pissed.
Why
Okay,
would you
so
be
this is the first thing, and let me put this on the
You want one?
screen. I have a copy of it too,
Oh. Everybody's
so
gonna see
everybody
what
can
I get.
see it.
Jiminy Carlyle was at one point a bard in his past. His
What is this, the
history.
glove of jack-o'-lantern?
Camera over to the...
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I mean, close enough. Glove of the Grim Fandango.
This is the glove of the Grim Fandango.
It
While
is
you are
pretty neat
tuned to the
looking.
glove
The TV is
and wearing it on your
TV's
dominant
not
hand,
on,
musical
what you do.
tools come naturally to you.
TV's not on.
So you should. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's really cool. And after
He's
playing
giving this to you because you're a bard.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So you have proficiency with all instruments.
Ooh, and I get like special.
After
like
playing an instrument for longer than a
ghosts?
minute,
Yeah.
spectral forms appear beside you to
that's.
accompany
I
your
get a
song.
whole band.
The spectral forms are wispy and ethereal.
I don't know, skeleton flute.
When you play an instrument for a minute, you have an advantage on any check you make with it.
Oh,
You can use an action to play an instrument and cast one of the following spells: Fear, Enthrall, or Speak with Dead.
oh, that's
That's pretty
Once
fantastic.
the glove has been used
Oh,
to
wow.
cast a spell, it can't be used to cast that spell again until the next dawn.
So, but it can be used to cast a different spell before the next one.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's pretty neat looking. I like
Hold
that.
on here.
Oh, what, do I get another one?
I have so much junk. I'm sorry.
That is
These
pretty
are trinkets, but these are not all the trinkets.
Spell again until the next day. It's a spell. So
Wonder if
you
it's
can
here.
spell cast an ability.
No.
Oh, so these are special spells. Cast one of the following spells.
So if I give this to, I had them all. Why don't I have them? I'm frustrated. Very frustrated. This is
I can
probably-
hold up one of the...
This is probably.
Oh, wow.
I can hold up the picture up in the camera.
That's pretty cool.
In case it's not here.
I guess you'll have to. That means I can't read it. But this is.
Oh,
Well, just
So-
show the picture and then read it.
So this is also for Epion.
Oh,
it's
nice.
the rose basket.
Yeah.
The rose basket. I'm intrigued about
This
this
silver rapier has a rose adorning its crossguard and pommel,
one.
and thorns lining its hilt.
That
You gain a
sounds
+2 bonus to
awesome.
attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, a shape changer or fey creature hit by the weapon takes an extra 1d8 radiant
Oh.
damage.
Cool.
As an action, you can speak the rapier's command word and touch its point to the ground at your feet. When you do, silver rose bushes sprout from the ground in a 25-foot square radius centered
Oh.
on your location. The area becomes difficult terrain, and when a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage
Oh, I get the
for every
thorn.
5 feet it travels.
So
Well-
you can go ahead.
It's like Diurd's spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While holding this rapier, you can traverse this area as if it were normal
Oh.
terrain, and you don't take damage from moving within it.
Wow.
The rose bushes remain for 1 minute or until you dismiss
That's
them as a bonus action. Once this property has been used, it can't be used again until the following dawn. And here's the image of the blade.
That's cool.
There you go.
I can hold it with my glove of the Grim Fandango.
Yeah, I'm a little mad because I
That's
thought
a
I had.
cool item.
Let me.
I mean, usually items have like 3 times a day effects.
Usually it's 3. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Three
so
times a
we
day.
can we can pop 3
That
times a day
should
on this.
list everything there.
That
We can pop
its
3 a day on
ability is-
that. Most abilities have 3 a day as the general.
I think these are
Well,
going to say.
that sword is like once a day.
This one says it's once a day, and this one you can use each
Well,
of the
I'm
spells
saying for my
once
potion
a day.
because I was trying to figure out
Yeah,
how
'cause
many
that,
times.
that
3 a
would
day
not
sounds
work.
like the norm for 99% of items.
Yeah, it's,
3 a day.
it sounds like a
I-
lot of
I- I
potion. How,
agree
what
with
kind of potion is it?
It's just a greater potion, so it's like
Doesn't that heal quite a lot of health?
yeah, but the later it is, won't be as much.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me look up greater.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, it's a good way to keep me alive.
Well, I mean, yeah, you are a tank, so that's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the Mega Man X games?
No.
Oh, it reminds me, because you get these things called E-tanks, which are basically like extra, like, health storage
Yeah.
tanks. Reminds me of that.
It's just 44 plus 4.
And when you die, they automatically...
So that's
your
like
health.
you can get a maximum of like 20 HP.
Oh, it's only a D4?
Yeah, it's 44.
Oh.
So it's a maximum of 20.
Oh, okay, per potion. Got it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I'll look
like
up that potion. I'm sure it's like going to be once. Though.
Yeah.
Because that's, if you could do it over and over and over, that would be,
He would become a very hardy boy.
yeah, it would be.
Yeah, that's why usually they
it would
limit it
be-
to like
you
things
couldn't
like
get- you
3 a
couldn't die.
day and stuff like that.
You
Well,
couldn't-
I'd have to spend a turn drinking it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but it'd be
basically,
very
that
hard
means
for you
just
to
keep
die.
refilling
Because a
that.
great health potion is 20
you, no, but
HP.
you'd get to heal yourself, and you'd be constantly dealing damage if you were next to the enemy.
I guess. No, I know. That's why there should be a limit, which
Yeah.
is why I'm saying it should be like, usually the limits are 3 times a day.
Yeah.
If it's a really, 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 really strong effect, it could be
Like
once.
yeah.
Sometimes it could be more, but 3 is the general
Okay,
amount.
here's more like,
Let's see.
Yeah, that's how your teleport boots are. Right?
Yeah.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
all right.
Usually
Those
stuff's
things are
3
cool.
times a day.
Okay.
That glove is pretty cool.
I like the glove. It does cool stuff.
Okay, and here's.
It gives me a
it's
whole
not
ghost
listed.
band.
I can't believe
Oh, look at that. Mariachi.
It's funny because when I
So-
saw it, I just saw the picture. I'm like, what is this? The glove of like the jack-o'-lantern? I'm like,
Well,
oh,
let me skip that. All right.
I like the glove of the green fandango. Are you a firebender, Mike?
All right, these. I don't believe it. A lot of these things are not in the list. I must change.
She's
phase her at all.
Seruko now.
I'm looking up spellcasting.
Didn't phase her at all.
What the fuck is it?
It's just anything
Okay.
you can spell with.
No, in D&D, there's
Here's-
it
this is
implement
for
gives you
Grutz.
bonus to your spell power.
Yes!
Yeah.
It's a
so
hand
I'm
axe.
looking
Or
Lizzie
thinking of a
Borden's
focus,
hand
I'm
axe.
sorry.
I don't have it listed in here. Sorry. Maybe I can find it.
Give Grutz Battle Axe.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just show it off.
What's it called again?
The Hatchet of Lizette Bordeaux.
Hope it's better than my axe.
Bordeaux.
It should be.
Bordeaux.
Man, you got a pretty good axe.
H-A.
I should know that because I
Hatchet
played.
of Liz.
I
It's
played
better.
Warhammer.
How do you spell her last name?
Bordeaux.
B-O-R-D.
E-A-U-X.
Yeah, Bordeaux.
I only know
Bordeaux.
that because that's my favorite candy from Sea Candy.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know you
I like
liked
the
that.
Bordeaux bars.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's basically the
I just
same
like
as
the
my
dark
axe,
chocolate covered almonds.
with the
pretty much.
+2, but it has an additional
yeah,
effect.
Boxes
that-
of stuff.
the
Like
fourth
my mom
picture
gave
is a
me
box.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Work for, like,
not
Christmas
that's
or
not the
something.
thing that I
I
got.
always
it from,
open it
so
up and I just take
it's not shown.
That's true.
I was trying to.
Yeah, my mom always gets me like gift cards and stuff.
I love Bordeaux bars though.
They're a bar.
Yeah, well, they're you can get them in the little like
You mean?
candy kind of form, but like you can get a bar of it.
Like
It's-
wrapped? Or is
Yeah,
it
it's like this big.
Oh, okay.
It's the one with little sprinkles on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's got like brown sugar.
Here we go.
90%
Okay, here's
of
the
time.
next item. This is
90%
also
of the
for
time I
Grutz.
just get dark chocolate.
This is called the Fester
I like
Wood
the
Mash.
Scotch malt.
This is a hammer.
Candy dark chocolate.
Yes!
This hammer has
I love
amber
it. I love
pustules on its end that are enriched the
You drink
wood
dark
with the
chocolate,
corrosive
That's
properties.
just
You
like
gain a
shit
+1
chocolate.
attack and
Chocolate.
damage with
I've never
this
heard of that.
weapon. In addition, the hammer has 3 charges
Just
that
put
can
a
be
lot of the
used
chocolate
in
in
striking it. So when you strike it with your hammer,
Yeah.
you choose to expend 1 charge to magically release some of the corrosive acid.
Oh, that's cool.
When you do, if the target is large or smaller, then the target takes a cumulative -1 penalty to its AC. That's for a minute. That's to its AC. That's pretty big.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Targets takes an extra 1d4 damage as well. So it's a penalty to the AC and it's a penalty to damage. So Hive says, I realize you're a magic user. Sorry.
Yes!
I saw you carrying this great big battle
Don't worry,
axe.
I can replace it with it.
And I, yeah.
What, are you going to take the hammer instead?
So I thought, all right. This is for Jiminy.
Oh yeah.
It's a screaming longbow.
A screaming. Hey, it and my sword can have a conversation. The danger sword.
Here's the screaming
Hell yeah,
longbow.
it is a fucking skull.
It's got a skull on it. Arrows fired from this sickly and ornate longbow let out a screeching howl as they fly. Creatures struck by each of the arrows takes an additional 2d4 thunder damage. When you land a critical hit
That's good.
with a fired shot with this weapon, all creatures within 5 feet must succeed. All creatures on a constitution or be deafened.
Let's see.
Unobstructed creatures within 80 feet of these arrow flight path become aware of your presence because the arrow does scream.
So, it screams like you. It goes,
That's awesome.
I thought it was you.
Battles.
I thought it was
like you need to
definitely
do like a bow pose and do your scream.
That's why. Oh, it'll scream alright. I'll scream for it every fucking time.
I also have this item, which is a bolt shard crossbow for you,
Hell yeah.
because I know you like to to
Not hit
shoot
things unless
from
I'm
far away. So
Yeah,
you pull the
Jesus
trigger of a stout. It's a heavier crossbow, and the bolt will explode into splinters and spray shards at your foe. As an action, you unleash this power. Each creature in a 60-foot cone. That's each creature, so you can hit people of yourself. Must make a dexterity throw, and the creature takes 8d8 piercing damage.
Oh my
I love
god.
how fucking
8
chaotic these weapons are.
Fucking 8.
8d8?
Wait, is that just its normal attack?
That's total 64 possible damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can friendly fire, is the thing.
That's-
Oh, lucky us.
So the 8d8 is dispersed, right? So if it can be one person, but it can be between
Oh my
2
God.
or 3.
This is
So
meant to be pointed at one person or one person only.
Well, yeah, that's crazy strong.
if somebody is reduced to 0 hit points by it, they
60-foot
become a fine red mist,
Out of a
instantly
big cone.
slain. The creature can be restored to life only by
Just
means
to
of a
get
true
close with a
resurrection
freaking
spell.
shotgun.
Oh,
So,
that's pretty hard to
If
do.
he hits one of you by accident and you're obliterated,
That's
you're done.
Awesome.
I don't like this. this is,
Handed too much power.
This
That only
concerns me.
crossbow is technically meant to be used on only one
This
thing.
wand of the jokester is for Epion as well.
oh.
It causes glasses and a mustache to appear on your face as well as enlarging your nose. You must talk and act like Groucho Marx for 1d4 minutes while using the wand. I've heard of casting a charm spell, but making some as charming as me. Now that's just not fair.
What does it do for me?
So you're gonna have to learn to talk like Groucho Marx.
I know of him. I don't know what he sounds like.
You'll have to. Well, you have to look
What
him
is
up.
what does
Like
this
this.
do for me
Yeah, just kind
though?
of do it like that. Yeah,
It just kind of sounds like a movement.
yeah, kind of just like that.
Oh, you see? Oh.
You see, we only have one rule in this town.
Oh wait, it's on somebody else's face.
Randolph.
Oh, so I don't have to act like them. It's the person that I use it on. They act like.
I thought it was you.
No, it's the person I use it on.
Oh, that's not as fun.
Oh, you see here.
He's got a robe for you. Looks like you could use a robe. These are actually unique to your wearer and spun from special magic sensitive threads. While wearing the robe, you gain an additional way to calculate your AC. So your AC equals 10 plus your spell casting ability. So that
That's
should help.
really good.
That's what I figured would help you. Whenever you
I'll make
cast
him
a
way
spell,
That's
you
really
can also
good.
change the apparent style, color, and appearance of the material of the robe.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
wow.
really
So
good.
regardless of
That's
its appearance,
efficient.
it is always a robe, but its weight remains the same. Glyphs will appear on the robe's fabric as you cast the spell, and it fades away a moment later.
Well, that's cool.
Wait.
That's bitch.
Okay, so I think it is me. It's just kind of worded.
It is you. Yeah.
It's worded weird, but it makes it sound like you can do it to somebody else. So it's just for fun. Okay.
A frozen dagger. Attacks made with this deal cold damage instead of piercing. You score a critical hit with it. The target must succeed or be paralyzed until the end of its next turn.
That's pretty good.
I don't see this on my list. I can't believe it. So let me look it up.
I like Jiminy's crossbow.
The
It's
hatchet's
fucking
good.
obliteration.
My maul's good at corrosive, while my axe hatchet's good for
I
general
figured you
purpose.
needed 2 hatchets.
What's the attack damage on the frozen dagger?
It doesn't say,
Yeah, just as attack made with dagger, deal cold damage.
so it must be 1d4.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a regular
Probably
damage.
Like a regular
Yeah.
dagger, but it's magic at least.
Yeah.
Could technically dual wield these two weapons.
Can you?
Yeah.
Are they both two-handed?
No. They're one.
All this stuff comes
A
from.
maul's one-handed and
This
a
is for
hatchet's
W?
one-handed.
Oh, I thought your other
It's called
weapon was
give
like a
and
big
take.
axe.
Mine was. So I
Give
can't
you
use
2
both the big
blades.
axe and that.
Yeah.
But I can use both of these.
Oh, you got 2 weapons.
This pair
I
of
thought you only-
mithril and
No,
onyx
that's it.
centaurs are connected by a
So I'm
sturdy
probably gonna
chain.
go dual wield.
When you gain
Yeah,
in
well,
two, when you
Grutz is gonna go
engage in
different.
2-weapon
Oh, wow.
fighting,
Lowers
which I
armor.
assume you will be able to do.
Grutz is gonna go dual
You
wield.
can add your ability modifier. The centaurs have a collective charge and regain 1d6 for charges at midday. With give, you hit a target and expend a charge. You and all other creatures within 5 feet of the target gain temporary hit points. When you take, you expend the charge, and you and all other creatures within 5 feet take half as much necrotic damage. So this is to help you because of your close battle. I figured
Yeah.
you got your spells, but because you needed swords and
Yeah.
stuff like that, this is what he's telling you. I figured you needed this for you to help you in terms of close
Yeah.
battle. I figured all you had was just a regular sword.
Feel bad, Chaz is giving us all this badass shit. We're just gonna die.
I don't know, I
just not gonna fuck
Don't
us.
die.
I'm very curious
die.
about the level of this
Burn the
encounter
entire
based on all
village
of the
down.
weapons.
Strahd's just gonna come behind
Don't
us
die.
and snap our necks.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
If
Hey, if you die, I'm just gonna take your crossbow and kill everything else with it.
If you're
I
smart.
plan on using the crossbow on ourselves if ever needed. You know, if I'm going down, you're all going down.
I don't
with
see
me.
how you can't kill everything with that thing.
Exactly.
All you gotta do is-
all
I
of it.
figured you'd
gotta
have
do
a
is-
good time with it.
All you gotta do is run up to it and use it like a shotgun.
If I'm going down, I'm shooting that thing straight up. Bam! It's just gonna rain fucking
It'll hit you.
hail fire.
Well, he
on
said if he goes
everyone.
down.
Oh, okay. And finally, I have a robe for W. The Red Claws Regalia, which you see on the screen.
Oh, is that like what we had in the Christmas adventure?
With this, you can withstand temperatures as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit negative. Your Constitution score increases by 2,
Hell yeah.
which I figure
Oh, my constitution's 18 now.
Oh wow.
you have advantage on Constitution saving throws. This thing's very good. You have a resistance to fire damage, although it doesn't say how much. We'll have to look at that. You can walk on lava as if it's solid ground without taking fire damage.
Where
The
where
head
did
of the
Chaz
robe
get this? And why is he even holding out on us for this?
Yeah,
has
we-
not been holding out on you.
What
You
the
have been-
fuck?
I think it's mutual, buddy.
We got some
That's
pretty
why
good
I said,
stuff.
don't be stingy. The hem of the robe glimmers with slowly shifting embers. While wearing this robe, your steps leave behind small motes of magical
Oh my
fire
God.
and scorched earth.
Whoa, what
The
the?
flames and
That's
marks left behind
awesome.
are harmless and disappear 1 second after they appear.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, okay. So he like leaves little fire footprints. on
Yeah.
us?
He does.
Okay. Are those like easily trackable?
Well,
They-
No, they disappear in a
They
second.
are there for 1 second. It's
Yeah, but
just,
does it not burn the ground?
it's just added coolness.
No.
It's a cool
But
thing.
if it was
I
dark,
don't want goblins following us because she's leaving fire footprints.
but if it's
After
dark,
1
that would be
second.
bad. If it's
So-
dark,
No,
it would light up the
If
path.
So if they
if
look
something burns, it's gonna
It's
burn.
magical.
No, he's right.
I'm right.
It
You're
will,
gonna
it
leave
will,
soot.
you could leave something
Face
behind.
damage.
You're gonna leave soot.
You could leave soot, you could leave stuff behind.
Yeah.
If somebody's tracking like
Wait,
100, like
the
Jiminy.
flames and
Literally.
marks. No, it says here the flames and marks left behind are harmless and disappear 1 second.
Oh, they disappear. Okay.
Why are there two
Wipes the
different
sweat off the
ones?
brow.
He says, I have 2 items left
Most likely it'll be 1d4 knife.
that I'm willing to give to you, but they are both cursed.
Considered a dagger.
I don't know what the curse is. I couldn't tell
The reason
you.
why both of these.
But it's up to you if you want to.
Dear, yeah.
Then my great axe.
Well, Diurd has a real
It's a
stud.
surprise.
I'll give it to
But
her.
I get this to him twice.
But I'll leave that to you.
Where are they? I wanna see it.
How much to get 2 weapons?
I see her
One of them is a ring.
Ooh, I wanna see it.
It's a ring that has, it's gold and it's studded with rubies.
Ooh.
And then the other thing is a little like jade carving of a frog.
I want the frog.
You want it?
Okay, so this is you do this to
Remember,
somebody else.
There is curse. There is a curse.
Yeah.
What's the curse?
Yeah.
Curse means
That's what you
that
get some
something
roll for how
bad
many
also
minutes they
comes
do
with
it.
the
It would
good.
have no purpose to do it to you.
Yeah. Do you want the frog?
Oh, there's a frog.
Jiminy Carlyle's kind of a frog himself, you know. That's kind of why I want it.
There's a magic frog.
There's a magic frog emblem necklace.
Oh, I thought. We were
I
like
don't
a
guarantee
familiar.
the good or the bad.
The problem is if
I
it's,
did
if it's
this
just
for
something
fun.
that like makes you jump high, that's useless to me because I've already got like 20 dexterity.
That'd be cool. I'd want that.
Never mind, I'm not gonna take
Well, it depends. Is it vertical
That's
jump?
all I give
It's
you.
up to you guys. There's
Jiminy
a
Carlyle can
ring.
jump higher than the speed of
Wait,
sound.
there's a ring. What's a ring?
What's the ring?
Just a ring. He said.
Okay, it's a round, like, it's tempered gold. It's got some studded rubies.
Okay. You should have described it as the ring in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's just a ring to me. It's when you throw it in
It
fire
has a
and
curse.
markings.
It has a curse.
Oh,
Let's want to know curse.
You don't
You
know
don't
the
know the
curse.
curse
You have to
unless you
choose
take
to
it.
put it on.
I will give you the curse once
Oh.
you use it.
oh, you said you
Wait,
didn't
I
have
can
to
identify
say.
it though.
I'm not gonna let you.
Oh,
So you get to choose.
Wait, no, I have a cure curse potion though. A remove curse potion.
Then you get rid of the item and then.
No,
it
you
means-
don't get rid of
it
the
means
item.
I can take the
So
item
basically, it allows him to take the item off.
Because a lot of curses say
It doesn't
It
get rid.
binds
It does
to
not get
something.
rid
Then
of
you
the
won't be
curse.
able to use the item.
But well, the second he puts it on, it's going to reactivate the curse.
Basically, he wants to see if it's worth putting the
Keeping.
damn
It's
thing
not
on.
worth it. It's not worth it for you, I'm sure. It means you're just gonna negate it.
no, he's well.
I'm,
yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna let
really
him
bad.
gain something.
Okay.
The fun with this was to get a curse item with something positive. So I'm not going to give it to you if you're just going to negate the curse.
God, Grutz.
What's the good thing about the frog thing?
Yeah, what's the good thing about the accursed ring?
Because if it's just a higher jump,
want-
I
you
don't
want-
need
you
that.
want it
Otherwise,
as
I'll
good.
take
I'm not going to tell you.
I'll take the
I
ring.
don't want a higher jump.
I'll take the ring. I already got like some curse type things. Why not? I'll
If I
play
get a
high
cool
risk,
song,
high reward.
I'll take it, right?
I'll play
Like,
high
it could be
risk.
Toad from what's it called? From
I
X-Men.
think you should
I'll
take
take
the
it.
fucking.
Let me look it up.
Take the frog. Take the frog.
But if it's a jumping, I don't need that. I'm Jiminy Carlyle. I'm the
You
new
jump
basketball.
even higher.
No,
Let
he's
me
already
look it up
20.
so we can see.
I'm curious to see if the
You're
curse
not
things
as
to.
high.
Yes, he can. He's Jiminy Carlyle. He's a basketball.
I just don't want to get ugly.
I just don't know if Grutz could fit the ring on him.
Magic ring should fit on yours.
Septum?
Well, I tried it before and it wouldn't fit.
Where's the septum?
Dang, I
Here's
don't
what
know.
he's getting: the septum ring of the Great Minotaur.
Oh, it sounds like a good ring for Grutz.
It will
That's
be
a
a good
nose
ring.
ring, right?
It is a nose ring
Gross.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that.
that's forged of. Across the gap, it's a polished fragment of a horn from an ancient and powerful.
Is that the curse?
The ring changes in size to fit the attune to it.
Oh, there you go.
As
I
you wear the
never actually
ring,
used
the
it.
ring increases your score, your strength score by 2.
It's just a little nose ring.
Oh,
maximum.
Grutz brought it.
Oh, that's great. It's just a little nose
You
ring.
have advantage on strength checks. In addition, your carrying capacity
That was-
doubles, and you can recall
Yeah, I had no idea what it was.
any path that you've traveled.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't care.
You got to wear it in your nose.
Ah, I just have
Is that the only
a nose
downside?
ring.
Oh, that's
That's
good.
the only
I'm fine with that.
I would have taken that.
Yeah, that would work great.
I was trying to
They're
tell you
kind of
that
nose
toad
rings.
necklace.
It's one of those
Frog
necklaces.
necklace.
I do a side. Oh, I want to do a side. one.
I'll do the frog.
I put your name down here.
Can I wear it like on
Anyone
the
who
side?
accepted
Is that
this-
Wait, is that what it looks
Oh
like?
no, it's a minotaur thing.
I want to see the ring. I want to see the other ring.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I want to at least see what the
I'm
ring
for the
looks like.
fun. I'm all for the fun.
You're doing this as W.
If
Yeah.
it's just jumping, then it's useless to me because I can jump. I'm Jiminy Carlyle.
Well, then you have no backside from it. You have no
It's
downside.
no, there's no upside. Is what I'm saying.
But what would he didn't say it was cursed.
No, it is.
Oh,
This one is
okay.
definitely cursed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
that.
already
See, this one's
accept-
Here's
definitely
the
cursed.
toadstone. It's a jade.
I'll
Jade.
take it.
Oh.
Here's the little toad.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah. Guess
No.
what?
Oh,
You're
boy.
fucked. You're fucked.
Oh boy.
You
This-
are a
Michael,
toad.
let me see it. I'm the one who took it.
Yeah, you don't get to read that.
Yeah,
It's
Michael.
Dangles
yours.
from the cord. While wearing it, you can gain a swim speed equal to your walking speed and
Oh,
can hold your breath
that's
for
cool.
1 hour.
Oh, fuck.
In addition, you can jump. You cast the jump spell, targeting only yourself.
Oh, you were right with the jump.
Attuning it to you until you're okay. Removing the necklace fails. While you're cursed, your skin is perpetually slimy, wet, and clammy.
Oh no.
And you have only an appetite for insects and other grubs instead of the foods you would normally
I love
do.
how you wanted to be a sexy, like, man whore.
He's always
And you're
lubed.
this nasty
No.
fucking incel
He's,
now.
he's always lubed up. He doesn't
No.
need lube
Yeah.
anymore.
He can slide into anybody.
Yeah,
No,
he can
he's-
slide into anybody.
No, he's not lubed. He's moist
He's slimy.
and clammy.
Slimy is loopy.
He looks like he had a
No,
fresh workout.
no, he is described as wet and clammy. That is like licking your hands over and over again. That is not lubey.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
All right. So,
You are moist.
Hive says,
W's on here too.
yeah, I wrote you down. Yeah, I did. I figured this would appeal to the two of you, or I figured it would appeal to Meagan.
Oh yeah, Meagan would have totally
I
taken
think
that.
She would have totally, taken
She
it.
wouldn't have cared. She'd be like, "Ooh, and more slime."
Yeah, she wouldn't have cared. But I knew it would be perfect for you because you'd be all sweaty and glowing.
He's already sweaty. He's Jiminy Carlyle.
Yeah, Meagan would have been all over that.
He bathes in
Thank you.
So Hive says, get a good rest this evening.
Yeah.
And dinner is over. We'll have a toast. He raises the glass and
So about
says,
dessert.
he raises a glass to you and he says, here's to the white rose. Here's to your return, safe return. I don't know how long you'll be gone. I don't know what you'll encounter. I know that those of you who have your goals, and those of you who don't, I'm sure will be necessary and needed to help those who are aspiring to other things. He says, do not trust the devil. Do not tackle the devil immediately. I would say that as well. If you want to go talk to him, go
Squat's
talk
his
to
friend.
him. Address him as his respect is owed.
Friend.
And make sure you do not overextend yourselves or you will be gone in a flash. Don't mess with this guy.
Yeah, it's Grutz's friend. It's Grutz's friend.
Grutz.
Yes.
Nobody is the friend of the devil.
He said friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
Okay. With that, he says, I will have in the morning a group of Asani that have agreed to take you through the mist. They will not take you into Borovia. They will not go in there. They have said they will not go. However, they have a contact that they will take you to outside and close to the gates.
Should we bring our horses with us? Okay.
I want to have like our horses be able to like fit
Oh.
into the bag of holding.
Why'd you give us the horses then?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They'll be waiting for us later.
You can take the horses if you want.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Are we gonna? Are they
I
gonna?
remember
be
I
useful,
told you that the distance is it's about 3 days across.
that was
So
by walking.
It's not a
right?
huge place, and horses are going to be a target by all kinds of people because horses are at a premium there. Just remember that.
Meat. They're good meat.
I just need bugs.
hungry people, yeah.
They're all kinds
No.
of,
Oh yeah, Meagan
they're grubs.
Oh my
So
God.
he says we'll wake up tomorrow, and this tribe will be here. And with that, we're going to conclude for the night. And I believe next week we are not playing.
Next 2 weeks, right?
I don't know.
The week after, me and Richard are
They're
doing
gonna be
something with
gone.
a friend. Friends.
Okay, I didn't know about
Yeah.
that one. So okay.
We basically.
Oh, you know what? That wasn't helpful for me at all. That nose ring had no value. I'm already at the max strength. I can
No,
get.
no.
Unless it can stay otherwise.
22.
Oh shit! I could have actually easily get the 22. Look at that. Oh well.
You guys were too afraid.
Well, I didn't know what it was.
I got
Everybody
the
raise
jump
your hand
skill.
and wave. Say
Bye.
goodbye.
I
I
know.
think
I
he's
can
already
jump
shutting
high
us
and breathe
down.
underwater for an hour.
That's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
Hopefully
good.
2 weeks. Well, I
gotta
think you can
draw
hold
me
your
first.
breath for an hour.
Yeah.
So guess what?